so bad. I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life. Oh, just to be with you is having the best day of my life.
This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Coopers Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock. From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning. A very good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning. January 27, 2025, Monday, January 27, 2025. Economic Growth Ministry says contracted delays are to be blamed for unfinished houses under the new social housing program. JLP leader Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the party's standard bearer for Western Westmoreland at the next general election is yet to be decided. The St. Andrew North Police Division saw a 24% increase in major crimes last year. In regional news, St. Kitts and Nevis prosecutor charged in murder cover-up. In international news, Colombia backs down on deportation flights after Trump tariffs threat. In sports, Harborview end 11-game winless run by beating Dumbeholden 4-1 in Sunday night's Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League match. And in business, a Fuji TV head resigns over Japanese TV host's sex scandal. The details after the break.
Introducing Domus Windows and Doors, Caribbean UPVC solutions. Now open at the Summit, 16 Chelsea Avenue, Kingston 5. Order energy-efficient solar E-windows and doors that offer laminate glass for enhanced security and a 50% reduction on your air conditioning usage. Now that's saving money. And these windows and doors are manufactured to international standards with a 20-year warranty on the frames. Get special offers in time for Christmas. Call or WhatsApp 619-1223 or visit the showroom today.
Catch the first news of the day, a comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation says contractor delays are to be blamed for 2 unfinished homes under the new social housing program in central Kingston. The clarification follows a report in the Sunday Gleaner highlighting the unfinished structures and the alleged challenges being faced by the intended beneficiaries. Kalisa Wright reports.
The ministry says despite 2 extension requests being granted to the contractor, the homes remain unfinished. In a release on Sunday, the ministry says there are instances where contractors are unable to complete the projects due to security issues, theft of material, and labor disputes. It has rejected any suggestion that the delays in the construction process should be blamed on the new social housing program. The government says it has since terminated the contract and has restarted the procurement process to find a new contractor. It says efforts are being made to complete the homes by the end of February 2025. According to the ministry, steps are being taken to ensure temporary relief if provided to the residents who are affected by the construction delays. The media release sought to correct what it says is an erroneous assertion by the Sunday Gleaner that the Municipal Social Assistance Program is administered by the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. The new social housing program has delivered 280 homes across 57 of the 63 constituencies across the country. There are currently 40 projects being pursued across 19 constituencies. An additional 75 homes are expected to start by the next financial year. 6 social homes have already been handed over under the new social housing program in central Kingston. 5 additional homes are being built for handing over in the constituency. Khaleesi Wright for Nationwide News.
JLP leader and the Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the matter of who will represent the party in Western Westmoreland at the next general election remains unsettled. The sitting MP is Moreland Wilson. Wilson won the seat for the JLP for the first time in history, beating the PNP's Dr. Wickham McNeil in the general election of September 3, 2020.
We did one consultation last Sunday in this constituency that is then followed up by this meeting. Then there are polls to be done, and then that will give us a full picture as to where we stand with the candidate and with the voters in the constituency, and that will help to inform strategy going forward. So there is a process that is ongoing.
Prime Minister Holness was speaking with the media following a meeting of party workers at the Grange Hill High School last Friday. The meeting followed a yes-no consultation process across 5 divisions in the constituency: Little London, Sheffield, Grange Hill, Negril and Friendship. Of the 100 JLP delegates who participated, just over a third endorsed Wilson's bid to stand for the party at the next election. Holness says last Friday's meeting also gave party workers a chance to get answers to questions about the schedule for roadworks in the constituency.
It was an internal meeting. It's about getting the party's machinery informed and ready, and the spirits are high. Workers, the spirit of the Jamaica Labour Party is about building the country and building the nation. So they did pose to us questions about roads and water and other infrastructure, which is always good. The supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party are about building Jamaica, and we were able to respond to them and explain the programs of the government. They are now empowered to go back in their communities and explain to their neighbours and friends the policies, programs, and of course the achievements of the Jamaica Labour Party.
Andrew Holness, JLP leader and Prime Minister. The parish of St. James has recorded 1 murder since the start of the year. Head of the St. James Police Division, Superintendent Aaron Samuels, says it's a good start on the road to keeping homicides below the 100 mark for 2025.
Since 2025, we've had only 1 murder in St. James. Last week, Friday. Last year, this time, we would have had 10 murders. We are very sure that we are going to be working hard to ensure that we reach that below 100 target that we have set. The men and women on the ground, they are very upbeat, and they are convinced that, based on the successes that they had last year, that they can better that. They have told me that they will better it, and we are working with the communities, and we are working with the representatives as well to see how best we can engage the communities in a lot more social engagement, community engagement, and we are reaping the rewards from that.
Superintendent Samuels says the strategic imposition of zones of special operations has contributed to a decline in major crimes in the parish.
Last year, the zones of special operation in Norwood, we had no murders in Norwood for the period. In Mount Salem, we had a little issue which was dealt with, and we are seeing low figures within that space. And based on the trajectory this year, we are projecting that we'll have a good year as well in both zones.
Superintendent Aaron Samuels, commanding officer for St. James. The St. Andrew North Police recorded a 24% increase in major crimes last year. That's according to Commanding Officer, Acting Superintendent Randy Sweeney. He was speaking at a town hall meeting in the division on Sunday.
So let me be the first one to say that the 2024 period was a very challenging one for the St. Andrew North Division, especially when it comes to larceny and motor vehicles, break-ins. It contributed to over 400 major crimes, and that is in comparison to 328 2023. So that saw a 24% increase in crimes, major crimes that is, across the division. Despite this, I can assure you that we have been utilizing various strategies and tools, which we will continue 2025 to ensure that the citizens of the St. Andrew North Division or those passing through are safe and secure.
Acting Superintendent Sweeney says over 100 motor vehicles were reported stolen in the division in 2024.
There were some troubling areas for us in 2024. Hopefully that's not the same this year, especially up there in Lawrence Tavern, where we had almost a 100% increase in murders. Areas affected primarily included the King Weston, Florence's space, Rosal space. Those are some of the areas. And due to our strategies, we have seen where that has been minimized, leading to the last quarter rather of the year. Shooting also saw an increase. Robbery, there was a decrease. Breaking increase, we recorded 74 last year, and the larceny of motor vehicle, which I spoke about earlier, we have over 130. Additionally, there are some motor vehicles that were robbed, which is not in this number here. So that would pretty much put us over 160 motor vehicles being stolen.
Acting Superintendent Randy Sweeney, commanding officer for the St. Andrew North Police Division. Meanwhile, Sweeney says the Red Hills area recorded a 100% increase in murders for 2024.
Constant Springs saw a decline in both murders and shootings. Based on our analysis, we saw where most of the shootings or murders that occur in the Constant Springs space took place along the Whitehall Avenue, Manningsville Road area there, covering a little part of Cassava Piece. So if you see where we implemented several strategies to include curfew affecting that area, it's coming off that analysis that we did and saw where a lot of the murders and shootings actually took place in that elbow there. Grand Sven space saw an increase in murders. Red Hills saw over 100% increase in murders. Stone Hill increase. 1 for Gardentown, 3 for Irishtown, and 0 for Mavis Bank.
On a positive note, Acting Superintendent Sweeney says there was an increase in the seizure of firearms in 2024.
Firearms, illegal firearms and ammunition. Last year we seized 43 compared to 37 2023. And over the last 10 years, and based on the stats, we have not seized so many firearms, illegal firearms. We have also seen an increase in the seizure of ammunition, over 560. Bearing in mind, each one of these rounds represent a life being lost, each one. Also using this opportunity again to implore on our citizens to reach out to the police, share information with us so that we can seize more of these firearms and arrest some of these suspects so that 2025 can be even better and less life being lost.
Acting Superintendent Randy Sweeney, commanding officer for the St. Andrew North Police Division. Now, the St. Andrew North Police Division is renewing its call for persons to come forward if they have information regarding the murder of 12-year-old Kevon Ferron. Kevon was shot and killed on Friday, January 24. This after gunmen traveling on a motorcycle fired several shots at the Mercedes-Benz he, his mother, and adult brother were traveling in on Lindsay Crescent in St. Andrew. His mother is being treated in hospital while his brother was unharmed. Acting Superintendent Randy Sweeney is the commanding officer for the St. Andrew North Police Division.
Regarding the shooting incident that took place on Friday, January 24th, 2025, that resulted in the murder of 12 years old Kevon Ferron and the injury of his mother, we have no additional information at this point that can be shared with the public. However, we're kindly asking again, of course, for anyone who have any information to please share it with the police. Particularly anyone who may have been in the Don Robin Avenue, Lindsay Crescent area between 6:30 a.m. and 7 a.m. and may have seen two men traveling on a motorcycle dressed in dark colored clothing. Please share with us any information regarding the description of this motorcycle to include license plate.
Anyone with information that can assist the police in their investigation is being asked to contact the Constant Spring Criminal Investigations Branch CIB at 876-924-1421, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station. Leading manufacturer and distributor Wisynco has changed its staff transportation arrangements following the flare-up of violence in Spanish Town, St. Catherine last week. Chairman of Wisynco, William Mufud, spoke with Nationwide News on Sunday.
To be honest with you, the biggest challenge for us is getting people who live in the community to come out to work, because we operate 24 hours, 7 days a week. And we have had to put in more transportation. So we're actually having to, rather than where we normally pick up people like at central locations in Spanish Town or in Old Harbor or whatever, what we're having to do now is go closer to where the people live in their communities and pick them up and carry them back home, and especially in the night.
Mufud is hoping for a lasting solution to the violence in Spanish Town.
Hopefully the government will put measures in place to restrict that from continuing.
William Mufud, chairman of Wisynco. Criminologist Dr. Jason Mackay is warning that another leader of the notorious One Order gang may soon emerge following the killing of Othniel Thigpen Laban.
Well, there is already a hierarchy within that gang, and every major gang like that, So I'm sure there's already a vice that will be stepping up, to take over. Once you have the extortion racket feeding in that large amount of money into the gang coffers, then there's always going to be another member and another gang there ready to take it. Even if the entire One Order gang was to disintegrate, there would be another gang just appearing just for the purpose if there's so much money involved.
Laban was killed last Wednesday during an alleged confrontation with the police. Dr. Mackay believes that the profits from crime serve as an inducement for gang members to rise to the top within the criminal network. He says this can only be stamped out if communities no longer provide safe haven for gangsters.
You have to go right back to the actual source of it. You have to go as to why gangs originate. You'd have to, first of all, turn the community into one that gangs simply can't control. And that had happened already with Zoso in Montego Bay. Then you'd have to go to the source of where they're getting their money and put preventative means in place where they're simply not able to source money from that source anymore, And I couldn't tell you what means you put in, because it's very difficult, because they collect extortion from taximen, they collect extortion from businessmen, they collect extortion from vendors, and it's almost impossible to stop them from doing so, because they see a real threat from them, so they will pay it.
And Dr. Jason Mackay, criminologist. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news in St. Kitts and Nevis, Crown Counsel prosecutor Santrice Dorset is facing multiple charges in relation to the 2024 murder of a 29-year-old man. The deceased, Akeem Archibald, was fatally shot while driving his motorcycle near his home on July 20 last year. Allegations are that Dorset helped the murder suspect, Kieran Phillip, to flee the country to avoid judicial proceedings. She is facing charges of accessory after the fact to murder, attempting to pervert the course of justice, misconduct in public office, and corruption. The prosecutor is also accused of using her official position to influence the surrender of the firearm used in Archibald's murder through an amnesty program. In international, the U.S. will not proceed with the tariffs on Colombia after Colombia agreed to accept without restrictions deported migrants. That's according to a statement from the White House. Donald Trump had ordered 25% tariffs on all Colombian goods after its president barred 2 U.S. military deportation flights from landing in the country on Sunday. Colombian President Gustavo Petro had initially responded by saying his country would accept repatriated citizens on civilian planes without treating them like criminals. The White House says Colombia has now agreed to accept migrants arriving on U.S. military aircraft without limitation or delay. The White House has hailed the agreement with Colombia as a victory for Trump's hardline approach. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Are you equipped to protect your organization from financial crime? The University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, in partnership with the Anti-Money Laundering and Financial Crimes Institute, is offering internationally recognized certifications in anti-money laundering, improved compliance with certifications in FCPA, fraud risk management, countering the financing of terrorism, and more. Visit www.ucc.edu.jm or call 876-906-3214 for more information.
Registration is now open for Sagicor Sigma Run 2025. Register now and get ready to run, walk, and wheel for a cause. Our beneficiaries are Sir John Golding Rehabilitation Center, Father Holang and Friends Foundation, and the Kingston Public Hospital. Be a part of Sagicor Sigma Run 2025. Make sure you're there on February 16 for the Caribbean's biggest road race. Visit SagicorSigmaRun.com and register now. Sponsored by Walden, Pan Jam, National Baking Company, Reggae Marathon, Catherine's Peak, Millet Media, and Whistling Frog.
Are you ready for it?
Revo. Coming soon.
Time now for your morning sports. Harborview beat Dumbeholden 4-1 to end their 11-game winless run in the Rand Nephew Jamaica Premier League at the Harborview Stadium on Sunday. The win moved the Stars of the East up 2 places to 11th. Javid George, Trevon Reed, Colorado Murray, and Tamar Lewis were the goal scorers. Meanwhile, leaders Mount Pleasant Academy registered their 11th straight win, beating Tivoli Gardens 1-0. Sule McCall's 39th minute goal means Mount Pleasant have now set the longest consecutive win streak in the history of Premier League football in Jamaica. In other results, Portmore United and Montego Bay United drew 0-0. Racing United beat Vere United 3-0 and Chapelton Maroons beat Waterhouse 3-0. Kyle Williams scored a double in Corville Gardens' 4-0 win over Bull Bay in the Casafa Rin Nephew Major League Football competition on Sunday. Markel McLew and Daniel Dakers were the other goal scorers. In other results, Mountain View blanked Pembroke Hall 4-0. Riddles beat Central Kingston 2-0. New Kingston edged Ligonier United 1-0. Maxfield beat Rockford 2-1. And Police Nationals clipped Seaview Gardens 1-0. Jamaican sprinter Taekwondo Tracy opened his season with a 6.70 seconds clocking to finish second in the 60 meters at the Queen's Grace Jackson meet on the weekend. The event was won by Sprintex Kadrian Goldson in 6.65 seconds, with Gary Card of Woma's third in 6.71. Tracy admits he was a bit nervous at the start.
Oh, I feel alright. I was a bit jiggy. Like when a kid about to get his first birthday cake. I don't know why I felt like that, but I feel good nonetheless. So, I finished the race and I think that's a personal best, weirdly. So, I'm happy.
Taekwondo Tracy. Finally, in your morning sports, national golf champions Andre Roy and one of the island's best junior golfers, Ryan Liu, were put to the test at the recent Latin America Amateur Championship in Argentina. Roy had a good first round, scoring 3 over par 75, and was hoping for a better second round in order to make the cut and play all 4 rounds of the championship. However, he had some hiccups in the second round, where he scored 9 over par 81 for a 2-day total of 12 over par 156 and did not make the cut for the second consecutive year. Liu, in his first attempt at the championship, had a rough first round score of 14 over par 86, which landed him way down the leaderboard. He failed to make the cut after a second round, a score of 9 over par 81. His 2-day total was 23 over par 167. Jamaica's best placement at the championship to date is 24th by Ian Facey back in 2015. The eventual winner was Justin Hastings of the Cayman Islands. He shot 16 under par 272 for the win. He became the second Cayman golfer to win the championship, behind Aaron Jarvis, who won it in 2022. And that's it for your morning sports.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Are you ready for it?
Revo. Coming soon.
In business this morning, the BBC is reporting that both the chairman and president of Fuji TV, one of Japan's biggest networks, have resigned in the wake of a sexual misconduct allegation against a famous TV host. Dozens of companies have pulled their advertisements from the network, which was criticized for trying to cover up the scandal. Masahiro Nakai was accused of sexually assaulting a woman at a 2023 dinner party, allegedly organized by Fuji TV staff. He announced his retirement from the show from show business last week. The Japanese government has called on Fuji TV to regain trust from viewers and sponsors. The UK's largest luxury car maker, Jaguar Land Rover JLR, says it will invest £65 million to expand its bespoke paint services in response to growing demand from wealthy customers. The plan includes opening new paint facilities in Castle Bromwich, UK and Nitra, Slovakia. The firm, which is owned by India's Tata Group, says it expects to more than double its bespoke paint operation, including helping clients match the color of exclusive Range Rover SV models to their private jets or yachts. It follows a similar move by Rolls-Royce, which announced earlier this month that it was investing £300 million to build more highly customized versions of its cars for super-rich customers. In foreign exchange trading, the Jamaican dollar will open trading today, selling for an average $157.84 against the benchmark US dollar. The Jamaican dollar will open trading today, selling for an average $110.94 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican will open trading, selling for an average $195.75 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning. And before we wrap the news at 6, the Jamaica Constabulary Force is advising motorists that a section of Malines Road is currently closed to facilitate the processing of a scene. Nationwide News understands that 2 people have been shot. The affected area is between the Cassia Park intersection and the road near Tarrant Baptist Church. Motorists are advised to expect delays and seek alternative routes to minimize inconvenience. The police, they're urging motorists to follow the directions of the traffic management personnel on location to ensure a safe and orderly flow of traffic. This is a developing story, and we'll bring you more details in subsequent newscasts.
Clearing personal, non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:29.
Revamp your space with Unique Living sleek fixed and sliding shower panels, shower systems and faucets, stylish vanities, LED and non-LED mirrors, basins and kitchen sinks, closet and storage solutions, hanging aids, and more. Available in different finishes and sizes to match your style. Transform your space and visit us today at shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10. Call us at 876-755-3661 or visit our website at uniquelivingja.com to shop.
Start your fitness journey today and make 2025 your healthiest yet with Express Fitness. State-of-the-art equipment, expert trainers, and encouraging community are here to support you every step of the way. Join now and take the first step towards a stronger, happier you. Express Fitness, starting at only $9,500 per month with 11 locations island-wide. Your gym for all your needs. Visit www.expressfitnessja.com to sign up today.
When last you get good bun, you don't know good bun until you have a mother's bakery bun. From you pull open the wrapper and it's soft so till. A sub bun for nice. And from when you take the first bite, love it so till. A sub bun for nice. Beg your piece.
Get your own mother's bakery bun.
I will buy one off you.
Yes, but I will charge a convenience fee.
I will take one. Me too. Mother's bakery buns. A sub bun for nice. Try them today.
And every part of my body was in place. Many people died and never saw this day. So another day I live, I appreciate. Don't ever wanna act too high and mighty, cause tomorrow I can fall down on my face. So in everything, Lord, I give you praise, and that puts a smile on my face. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, beautiful day, beautiful day. Don't fuss and fight, let us unite. We got one life and let's make it right. It's a beautiful day, yeah. lesson. It's for me to get wiser. Got to work harder. In the end, it will get better. Lord, I thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Please don't fuss and fight. Let us unite. So let's make it right. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
A beautiful day indeed. Good morning to ya. Good morning to you. You are tuned in to Nationwide this morning. It is Monday, January 27, 2025. Happy to have all of you joining us this morning. Good morning to our YouTubers, our peeps out there in Radioland, wherever, whichever app you're joining us from, platform you're joining us from this morning. Good morning to you. Hello, it's a brand new week, a beautiful morning in Kingston City. I'm Tona Thomas.
Good morning, Tona. Good morning, listeners, viewers. My name is George.
Hello to you, George.
What up?
Not much. The sky.
Yeah, man. Oh, you know. You're in here. The ceiling is up. That you're certain of.
Yes, indeed.
I'm having a Friday look this morning because we're going to drive some cars this morning in partnership with ATL. And I'm looking forward to that. That's about 11 o'clock.
That's about 11.
Yeah, man. So
yeah.
The list
I was told about it on Friday.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Fun
I'm
times.
looking forward to see what else they bring to our courtyard.
Fun times.
This morning.
Fun times.
Yeah.
May I say good morning again to the listeners and the viewers. Thank you again for supporting Nationwide this morning. It's a very important week that we embark on again in the country. And over the weekend, several news items, some which still have me scratching my head about the stance taken, the conclusions drawn, and we have a saying in the streets where you say, boy, you run a program upon somebody, meaning you deliberately set out to undermine the person or worse, through a series of coordinated actions. And some of the items I've seen over the weekend, boy, it will take a very convincing person to convince me that program not run. Yeah, the articles were that. May I say also, congratulations to Mount Pleasant Football Academy. We don't speak of sport in this segment much, but they've now established a record. 11 consecutive victories in the Premier League. It's a record. They held the record previously jointly with Arnett Gardens of 10 straight wins in Premier League football in Jamaica, but they beat Tivoli 1-0 on Sunday. Sule McCullough header gave them win number 11 on the trot, and Theodore Whitmore's team now has the distinction of winning more games consecutively than any other in the history of Premier League football in Jamaica. It's a significant achievement. This morning, I want to talk about something that a gentleman who is very well placed to know has been speaking about in many interviews over the past several months. I don't get the impression that people are listening to him, and so he didn't ask me to. But I saw him write about it again on the weekend, and I said, you know what? To me, this is so important, and I think I need to highlight the importance to the 4% that listens to me on a daily basis, because they say we only have 4% listenership. And as I said, well, we have 4%, yet everything we say we don't hear. Yeah, I want to have an army of people here listening every day. So what idlers they are to be among the 4% who listen to what we say every day. But yes, I said I need to highlight this to my 4%ers. I am a 4%er, proud 4%er. Everyone here at Nationwide is a 4%er. And our listeners, our loyal listeners, members of the Nationwide family themselves, to a man and a woman, are proud 4%ers. And it is the 4%ers I'm talking to this morning. Keith Duncan, Tona, has been saying over the past several months, we are headed for trouble with the next round of wage negotiations in the public sector, given not just where the state of the finances are, but where the forecast suggests we are going to be, and the amounts that we are paying in public sector salaries now and what we are calculated to be paying in the future. He says, look, we need to come to a point where we have an agreement to limit what the next round of increases will take in, because we are at the point where we can't afford the extravagance, relatively speaking, that we've had before. Even though he makes a very important point, which doesn't need saying, but he cleverly, well, not cleverly, he sensibly stated it, and I'm restating it here. Public sector workers, they deserve the good salaries that they command. They deserve even more. But there's a difference between deserve and affordability, and the government's ability to pay is and will be compromised by certain events. On Sunday, Keith Duncan went into it. And before I go into what he said on Sunday, writing in The Gleaner, in his article, they gave it a headline, Fiscal Risks Loom Large, Growth is the Panacea. Yeah, the cure-all. Remember, I've said in the space already, we only need to go back to about 2010 to realize how public sector wages can torpedo an economic plan. Recall that $1.27 million US standby arrangement that the then Golding administration, Bruce, had with the IMF, and how that was knocked off track by $9 billion that the government had to pay out to public sector workers. That represented a 7% increase. And that 7% increase caused a rift between the government and the IMF. The IMF wanted say, okay, we're against you paying this, but if you insist that you must, because politically and otherwise, you have to oblige, pay it forward. So pay it from this point, you get 7%, your next paycheck will represent a 7% increase, and you go forward. The government is saying, well, that's all well and good, but the unions say they want their retroactive as well. So for the time that we have delayed implementing this new round of wage increases, they want the retroactive to be paid from that time. So pay the retroactive and pay forward is what the unions have asked us to do. IMF says, no, we don't want you to do that. If you must pay the 7%, which we don't want you to do, pay it forward. Well, you know what happened? The government went ahead, paid the retro, paid it forward. In between all of that, they tried to not pay the 7%. But the police took them to court and won a victory that had to be applied then to every group in the public sector. They tried to freeze it, the 7%. It couldn't freeze. And that decision to pay the 7% retroactively and going forward torpedoed that $1.27 billion US standby arrangement, million US dollar standby arrangement, and stiffed the IMF agreement. So we have previous where wage increases have knocked an economic program off track. Here's what Keith Duncan says now. He says that in the past 3 years, additional fiscal space has been devoted to increasing public sector wages and salaries under the newly restructured compensation system, with wages and salaries, open your ears now, increasing from $222 billion in the 21-22 financial year, 2021-2022. So it increased from $222 billion in that fiscal year to a projected spend of $424 billion in the fiscal year 2024-2025. Now, that's a gap of 2 fiscal years. So in 2 fiscal years, $202 billion more went into paying salaries for public sector workers. He says for the same period, as a percentage of GDP, of course, the measure of the value of goods and services produced within a country by all of those active and participating in it. For the same period, as a percentage of GDP, wages and salaries have increased from 9.58% of GDP to 13.15%, and have increased as a percentage of tax revenues from 36% to 46%. We are on a steep path where wages in the public sector are hoovering up more of the resources. So, it used to be 36% of all tax revenues collected that went to wages. Now it's 46%. And he said that in the 2 fiscal years between 2021-22 and 2024-25, $202 billion more went into paying public sector wages and salaries. He says that the increase, of course, was well overdue. So don't say Keith Duncan don't want government to pay workers more, because some of you will take that from the discussion. That's not what he's saying. He writes the increases were well overdue. But the significant increases pose a great risk that the increase will crowd out other critical areas of spending, because if you're putting more of what you collect in tax revenue into paying salaries, clearly somewhere else will get squeezed, is what he's saying. That's the crowding out effect that they teach you when you do economics, macro, micro, whether at the university level or if you start it at sixth form. Is something, one of the fundamental lessons about the crowding out effect, right? Duncan says, we need to be in a position where wages and salaries as a fixed percentage should be the order of the day, as it was previously at 9%. And he's saying that, look, I'm not saying it should be 9%, but when you compare Jamaica to the rest of the world, where wages and salaries as a fixed percentage of GDP is 9.21%, in Latin America and the Caribbean it's 9.33%, and for countries with a similar income to Jamaica, it's 9.42%. We should perhaps look at that, because the way we are going now, we're going into a situation where we no longer can afford to. Remember, we've had 9 consecutive fiscal years of no new taxes. That can't continue forever. And as you saw with Tropical Storm Raphael last year and Hurricane Beryl last year, it not take not much for shut down the economy, for revenues to dry up, and for the government to have no fiscal space within which to do the things it wants to do. So, as we are entering election season, listen very carefully to parties, the two big two, you know who they are, promising to do this and promising to do that, and public sector workers lying in expectation of a move towards even more increases, and who say that, look, the economy is doing well, so pay me more. I remind you, we do not have an economy that is growing at 5 and 7 and 10%. It's actually in decline the last time the numbers came out. So, how much pound of flesh do you extract? And if you have a living, breathing human being and you cut out a pound of flesh, what go happen to them? They're not dead. If they don't get medical attention. Yeah? So I'm saying Duncan raises a very important argument. The trajectory we are on is not sustainable. And at some point, government and unions will have to agree that, all right, this is the extent of what we can do based on the fiscal space available. Let's keep the wage expectations within this band. But of course, that's highly unlikely to happen, because trade unionism, which has been very good for this country, has always been in bed with politics, because that's where the politics came from, the trade union movement. Yeah, so they're one and the same. And in the search for advantage politically, things will be said and done, not in the best interest of the country, but in the best interest of party. And like 2010, when the economy got stiffed by wage negotiations and demands, it could happen not too long from now. He also raised one other important point. This argument about raising the income tax threshold, it's now at $1.7 million? Here's what Duncan says. The recent increase in the income tax threshold to $1.7 million, that cost $8.95 billion. He says a further increase to $2 million, based on 2023 numbers, would cost an additional $13.4 billion. And if you raise the income tax threshold to 2.5 million, meaning that you only get taxed after the first 2.5 million of your annual salary, if you increase it to 2.5 million, that would cost an additional 25.7 billion. Now, what about 3 million as the income tax threshold? Well, if you go there, it will cost another $38 billion. Where's the money coming from? In a country where if the breeze blow too strong, JPS wires get knocked down, flow get knocked off track, Digicel down, farmers can't reap, and we sit down, hand with jaw, and look and live like brother dog. It's a very important thing to take into consideration as we go into promise season and as we go into people inflating our expectations, promising all this, all that. Government promising this, opposition promising this, JLP promising this, PMP promising this. Where the money gonna come from is the question. We have to manage expectations in this time.
The Ministry of Justice offers free counseling to victims of crime. Call 876-946-0663. The time by the Ministry of Justice is
6:49.
Yo, my boss. Yo, my general. Yo, my king. The new BK Mega Stacker. Come for run everything. Choose your style. Double, triple, or quad stack. Juicy grilled beef. Plus crispy bacon, some starkerific sauce, and layers of melted cheese. So if you think you can angle it, stackify yourself today. Order the BK Mega Stacker and have it your way. The new BK Mega Stacker. Built for satisfaction. Limited time. Only at Burger King.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10 or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice in the electrical business.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Looking for Ludlow. They were patching roads yesterday. So they did some long stretches and then they were doing some potholes because, enough of them up on the road. So I was, while I was at Waterhouse yesterday doing the football, I looked across to my right and a whole heap of rain. I said, Lord have mercy. It'll compromise the work. But like 5 minutes later, I saw a rainbow. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, all right, maybe the rain give them a little ease.
Yeah.
Because we really need those holes to be fixed.
I saw them patching in the vicinity of Devon House.
Yesterday.
Last evening, actually.
Oh, last night? I drove past them at about 2 o'clock yesterday, going out to Jerusalem, and I saw them patching.
Yeah, there was night work in the vicinity of Devon House yesterday. So I was happy about that as well, because in that area, and as you head out to, what's that hotel?
Terra Nova.
Mm-hmm. Sneaky potholes.
And I want it deep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need to look properly today to see if that a particular pothole there, that sneaky one, if that has been patched.
Yeah, the works in 6 other parishes began last week. We carried a news item to that effect. I think it was on Friday that 6 more parishes.
Right,
yeah,
and those are expected to last for about 5 weeks.
Yeah, so let's see what's happening. But boy. We couldn't bear anymore. I saw a video with a man who says he fell into a pothole. The rim broke. You have him? Oh, Ludlow, good morning. Proceed.
Morning, James. Morning, George. Morning to all the listeners. It's not a pretty morning this morning. Cassia Park, Mullines Road, Walton Park Road. If you're on Reddy's Road, it's going to be challenging. That intersection has a challenge. Yellow tape. Just in the vicinity of that old gas station and Cassia Park, it has been cordoned off. So motorists coming along Mullines Road to get to Waltham or even to get to Half a Tree, you're going to have a problem. If you're coming from Reddy's Road onto Cassia Park Road, it is a problem. So my suggestion, you might have to make that U-turn. You can't access Waltham Park Road. You cannot access Mullines Road going to Half a Tree. So you have to make some U-turn. Are they going to go back along Washington Boulevard, Weymouth Drive, Spanish Town Road, or you go back out onto Reddy's Road and make your way through Half a Tree, or these areas. So it's a difficult time for motorists. Yellow tape. Apparently there was some incident earlier on, so the area is cordoned off. But in the meantime, in the other areas, you still have traffic coming down Half a Tree into Half a Tree Square, Hope Road into Half a Tree Square, coming up Maxfield Avenue. All these areas have traffic. Panishstone Road, 3 miles area coming up Hadley Park and Waltham. Problems again with traffic going up. So it's a very busy Monday morning. But that incident at the Waltham is really triggering a lot of traffic concern. So it's over to you, George.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow there with the Street Smarts one. Up next, the word of the day.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Your word of the day, spelled SHILLY hyphen SHALLY. SHILLY hyphen SHALLY.
Shilly shally. Shilly shally. Shilly shally.
Shilly-shally is your word of the day, and it simply means to show indecision or hesitation, to be indecisive. You don't know what you want. Shilly-shally is your word of the day. Dictionary.com telling us that the word was first recorded between 1690 and 1700, first as an adverb. Shilly-shally, to use it in a sentence, the jury appeared to be shilly-shallying on the verdict, delaying the final decision. Shilly-shally, your word of the day. Definition again, to show indecision or hesitation. Up next, your features at the top of the hour of the news.
Living Well is brought to you by the New Walters Pharmacy, Black River, St. Elizabeth. Everything exceptional.
Today on Living Well, a powerful and natural alternative, oil of oregano. If anyone has not been paying attention, there's a lot of talk about how more and more there is antibiotic resistance and why it's becoming a major problem. This is happening because there is an overprescribing of antibiotics, and antibiotics is used in meat like poultry. It is written somewhere that the trees bearing fruit and the seed bearing plant and herbs of the field is for our healing. The interesting thing is that many of the very people that are advocates of medicines and drugs do not use them, just like many makers of cigarettes do not smoke. When we sift through all the smoke, we will find that many of the things that we can use to maintain our health and to treat many issues are right around us. Some we may have to buy because we may have lost the ability to make them, though we once did. One such herb that can be used to produce a very potent and powerful oil is the oregano herb. The oil is called oil of oregano. Oil of oregano is not to be confused with the essence of the herb or the extract. The potency and available enzymes are different from the oil. This is made from the wild medicinal plant. Oil of oregano is one of, if not, the most powerful natural antibiotic, antifungal, and anti-inflammatory and more. This oil has been used for hundreds and hundreds of years. The understanding of this herb is only just now coming to light. Organizations such as the CDC are encouraging its use for a wide variety of issues. Take it from me, it works and it's a wonder. Oregano is nature's antibiotic. It may be one reason why people who eat a Mediterranean diet tend to live longer and healthier lives. The wild oregano plant has been shown to kill unwanted bacteria, fungus, yeast, parasites, and viruses. It's a powerful antihistamine. New research is finding that oil of oregano is as effective against colitis as prescription drugs without the harmful side effects. The oil of oregano is taken by mouth for intestinal parasites, allergies, sinus pain, arthritis, cold and flu, swine flu, earaches, and fatigue. It is applied to the skin for skin conditions including acne, athlete's foot, oily skin, dandruff, canker sores, warts, ringworm, rosacea, psoriasis, as well as for insect and spider bites, gum disease, toothaches, muscle pain, and varicose veins. Oregano oil is also used topically as an insect repellent. If oil of oregano is used on a daily basis as directed, it will keep the body free of inflammation and strengthen it. Unfortunately, we have become so used to running to the doctor and getting a prescription or buying something over the counter, no one ever stops to think that there may be other ways. Take the time to read and research. Change the way you are living. A good, healthy life is priceless. And as the saying goes, return to the ancient ways because in them is life. That's Living Well for today. Tune in next time for How to Get Rid of Intestinal Parasites Without Drugs.
Living Well was brought to you by the New Walters Pharmacy, Black River, St. Elizabeth. Everything exceptional.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
You remember when we used to write to our pen pals? Then things evolved into using emails, instant messages, Facebook. Now we can FaceTime, and the rest we say is history. So how can we use social media responsibly? Hi, I'm Tana, and it's time for your lifestyle pages. Be careful what you write on your Facebook profile. For example, if you have shared your place of employment, it would be unwise for you to vent your frustration or speak negatively about your coworker or even your boss. Chances are your boss could see your post and that would not end well for you. Next thing, no one has to know your every move. You could potentially be opening up yourself to get robbed, sexually assaulted, or worse. Predators can use this tool to determine when you're alone or when you're not at home. A lot to tackle, but next time. I'm Tana, and those were your lifestyle pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston or Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
the most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up with the news at 7 this morning, Monday, January 27, 2025. 3 people shot and killed in the vicinity of Olympia Crown Hotel on Malines Road. Economic Growth Ministries says contractor delays are to blame for unfinished houses under the new social housing program. The JLP leader Andrew Holness says the party's standard bearer in Western Westmoreland for the next election is not yet settled. And in international news, Colombia backs down on deportation flights after Trump's tariff threat.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Nationwide News understands that 3 persons were shot and killed in the vicinity of Olympia Crown Hotel on Malines Road in St. Andrew earlier on Monday. 2 others are being treated at hospital. The police have cordoned the section of the road from the intersection with Cassia Park Road as they conduct their investigation. Superintendent Winchester Watson of the Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch spoke with our news center moments ago.
If you are traveling along Malines Road from Washington Boulevard direction heading into Halfway Tree, the police will be diverting traffic onto Cassia Park and as well as to Waltham Park Road. If you are traveling in the opposite direction from Halfway Tree direction, you will be diverted right onto Lower Sandringham Avenue. You can make your way through Eastwood Park Gardens. You can find yourself onto Cassia Park Road or onto Red Hills Road.
Superintendent Watson says motorists should seek alternate routes to minimize inconvenience.
It's advised that motorists traveling up Agley Park Road into Halfway Tree continues into Halfway Tree rather than going left onto Woodland Avenue, as the general area in Woodland Avenue and Malines will be expected to be busy at this time.
Superintendent Winchester Watson of the JCF's Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch. The parish of St. James has recorded 1 murder since the start of the year. Head of the St. James Division, Superintendent Aaron Samuels, says it's a good start on the road to keeping homicides below the 100 mark for 2025.
Since 2025, we've had only 1 murder in St. James.
last week Friday. Last year this time we would have had 10 murders. We are very sure that we are going to be working hard to ensure that we reach that below 100 target that we have set. The men and women on the ground, they are very upbeat, and they are convinced that, based on the successes that they had last year, that they can better that. They have told me that they will better it, and we are working with the communities, and we're working with the representatives as well to see how best we can engage the communities in a lot more social engagement, community engagement, and we're reaping the rewards from that.
Superintendent Samuel says the strategic imposition of zones of special operations has contributed to a decline in major crimes in the parish.
Last year, the zones of special operation in Norwood, we had no murders in Norwood for the period. In Mount Salem, we had a little issue which was dealt with, and we are seeing low figures within that space. And based on the trajectory this year, we are projecting that we'll have a good year as well in both zones.
Superintendent Aaron Samuels, commanding officer for St. James. The St. Andrew North Police recorded a 24% increase in major crimes last year. That's according to commanding officer, acting superintendent Randy Sweeney. He was speaking at a town hall meeting in the division on Sunday.
So let me be the first one to say that the 2024 period was a very challenging one for the St. Andrew North Division, especially when it comes to larceny and motor vehicles, breaking. It contributed to over 400 major crimes, and that is in comparison to 328 2023. So that saw a 24% increase in crimes, major crimes that is, across the division. Despite this, I can assure you that we have been utilizing various strategies and tools, which we will continue 2025 to ensure that the citizens of the St. Andrew North Division or those passing through are safe and secure.
Sweeney says over 100 motor vehicles were reported stolen in the division in 2024.
There were some troubling areas for us in 2024. Hopefully that's not the same this year, especially up there in Lawrence Tavern, where we had almost a 100% increase in murders. Areas affected primarily included the King Weston, Florence Hill space, Rosal space. Those are some of the areas. And due to our strategies, we have seen where that has been minimized, leading to the last quarter of the year. Shooting also saw an increase. Robbery, there was a decrease. Breaking increase, we recorded 74 last year, and the larceny of motor vehicle, which I spoke about earlier, we have over 130. Additionally, there are some motor vehicles that were robbed, which is not in this number here. So that would pretty much put us over 160 motor vehicles being stolen.
Meanwhile, Sweeney says the Red Hills area recorded a 100% increase in murders for 2024.
Constant Springs saw a decline in both murders and shootings. Based on our analysis, we saw where most of the shootings or murders that occur in the Constant Springs space took place along the Whitehall Avenue, Manningsville Road area there, covering a little part of Cassava Piece. So if you see where we implemented several strategies to include curfew affecting that area, it's coming off that analysis that we did and saw where a lot of the murders and shootings actually took place in that elbow there. Grand Sven space saw an increase in murders. Red Hills saw over 100% increase in murders. Stone Hill increase. 1 for Gardentown, 3 for Irishtown, and 0 for Mavis Bank.
On a positive note, acting superintendent says there was an increase in the seizure of firearms in 2024.
Firearms, illegal firearms and ammunition. Last year we seized 43 compared to 37 2023. And over the last 10 years, and based on the stats, we have not seized so many firearms, illegal firearms. We have also seen an increase in the seizure of ammunition, over 560. Bearing in mind, each one of these rounds represent a life being lost, each one. Also using this opportunity again to implore on our citizens to reach out to the police, share information with us so that we can seize more of these firearms and arrest some of these suspects so that 2025 can be even better and less life being lost.
Acting Superintendent Randy Sweeney, commanding officer for the St. Andrew North Division. And the St. Andrew North Police is renewing its call for persons to come forward if they have information about the murder of 12-year-old Kevon Ferron. Kevon was shot and killed on Friday, January 24. This after gunmen traveling on a motorcycle fired several shots at Mercedes-Benz he, his mother and adult brother were traveling in on Lindsay Crescent in St. Andrew. His mother is being treated in hospital while his brother was unharmed. Acting Superintendent Randy Sweeney is the commanding officer for St. Andrew North.
Regarding the shooting incident that took place on Friday, January 24th, 2025, that resulted in the murder of 12 years old Kevon Ferron and the injury of his mother. We have no additional information at this point that can be shared with the public. However, we're kindly asking again, of course, for anyone who have any information to please share it with the police, particularly anyone who may have been in the Dunrobin Avenue, Lindsay Crescent area between 6:30 a.m. and 7 a.m. and may have seen two men traveling on a motorcycle dressed in dark colored clothing. Please share with us any information regarding the description of this motorcycle to include license plate.
Anyone with information that can assist the police is being asked to contact the Constant Springs CIB at 876-924-1421, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation says contractor delays are to be blamed for 2 unfinished homes under the new social housing program in Central Kingston. The clarification follows a report in the Sunday Gleaner highlighting the unfinished structures and the alleged challenges being faced by the intended beneficiaries. Colicia Wright reports.
The ministry says despite 2 extension requests being granted to the contractor, the homes remain unfinished. In a release on Sunday, the ministry says there are instances where contractors are unable to complete the projects due to security issues, theft of material, and labor disputes. It has rejected any suggestion that the delays in the construction process should be blamed on the new social housing program. The government says it has since terminated the contract and has restarted the procurement process to find a new contractor. It says efforts are being made to complete the homes by the end of February 2025. According to the ministry, steps are being taken to ensure temporary relief if provided to the residents who are affected by the construction delays. The media release sought to correct what it says is an erroneous assertion by the Sunday Gleaner that the Municipal Social Assistance Program is administered by the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. The new social housing program has delivered 280 homes across 57 of the 63 constituencies across the country. There are currently 40 projects being pursued across 19 constituencies. An additional 75 homes are expected to start by the next financial year. 6 social homes have already been handed over under the new social housing program in Central Kingston. 5 additional homes are being built for handing over in the constituency. Colicia Wright for Nationwide News.
Motorists who use the Barbican Road corridor in the corporate area could have a brand new driving surface by the end of the week. That's according to the Minister in charge of Works, Robert Morgan.
So China Harbour would be obligated, as the contractor who originally did Barbican, to correct any defects that would have occurred on the road over a period of time. We're now approaching the end of the warranty period, which is basically the defects liability period of the road, and they would have milled, which is to scrape off the top layer of asphalt, and are now in the process of paving. I think it is about 80% complete, so I suspect by within the week, Barbican would have a brand new surface.
Minister Morgan says other roads are set to be rehabilitated by China Harbour Engineering Company under the Defects Liability Clause.
Well, it all depends on where the flaws are noticed. There were flaws noticed in Manor Park. There are also flaws noticed on Constant Spring Road, which have been repaired. So if any other flaws are noticed on, let's say, Hagley Park Road or those areas, then the contractor would be obligated to repair them at no cost to the government. Similar to what is taking place in the South Coast Highway Improvement Project, though that road has not been handed over to the government yet, any flaw that occurs on that road before handover is expected to be in March, or 1 year, 1 to 2 years after handover, then the contractor is obligated to repair any of those flaws.
Robert Morgan, the Minister in charge of Works. JLP leader and the Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the matter of who will represent the party in Western Westmoreland at the next general election remains unsettled. The sitting MP is Moreland Wilson. Wilson won the seat for the JLP for the first time in history, beating the PNP's Dr. Wickham McNeil in the general election of September 3, 2020.
We did one consultation last Sunday in this constituency that is then followed up by this meeting. Then there are polls to be done, and then that will give us a full picture as to where we stand with the candidate and with the voters in the constituency, and that will help to inform strategy going forward. So there is a process that is ongoing.
Prime Minister Holness was speaking with the media following a meeting of party workers at the Grange Hill High School last Friday. That meeting followed a yes or no consultation process across 5 divisions in the constituency: Little London, Sheffield, Grange Hill, Negril and Friendship. Of the 100 JLP delegates who participated, just over a third endorsed Wilson's bid to stand for the party at the next election. Holness says last Friday's meeting also gave party workers a chance to get answers to questions about the schedule for roadworks in the constituency.
It was an internal meeting. It's about getting the party's machinery informed and ready, and the spirits are high. Workers, the spirit of the Jamaica Labour Party is about building the country and building the nation. So they did pose to us questions about roads and water and other infrastructure, which is always good. The supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party are about building Jamaica, and we were able to respond to them and explain the programs of the government. They are now empowered to go back in their communities and explain to their neighbors and friends the policies, programs, and of course the achievements of the Jamaica Labour Party.
Andrew Holness, JLP leader and Prime Minister. Regional news now. In St. Kitts and Nevis, Crown Counsel Prosecutor Chantrice Dorset is facing multiple charges in relation to the 2024 murder of a 29-year-old man. The deceased, Akeem Archibald, was fatally shot while driving his motorcycle near his home on July 20. Allegations are that Dorset helped the murder suspect, Kyron Phillip, to flee the country to avoid judicial proceedings. She's facing charges of accessory after the fact to murder, attempting to pervert the course of justice, misconduct in public office and corruption. The prosecutor is also accused of using her official position to influence the surrender of the firearm used in Archibald's murder through an amnesty program. Further afield, the United States will not proceed with tariffs against Colombia after Bogota agreed to accept, without restrictions, deported migrants. That's according to a statement from the White House. Donald Trump had ordered 25% tariffs on all Colombian goods after its president barred 2 U.S. military deportation flights from landing in the country on Sunday. Colombian President Gustavo Petro had initially responded by saying his country would accept repatriated citizens on civilian planes without treating them like criminals. The White House says Colombia has now agreed to accept migrants arriving on U.S. military aircraft without limitation or delay. The White House has hailed the agreement with Colombia as a victory for Trump's hardline approach. That's the news.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
7:17.
Fix up with Fleetwood products for your home improvement, personal care, and aromatherapy needs. They have your well-being in mind. Available at retailers island-wide. The temperature by Fleetwood Jamaica is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Start your fitness journey today and make 2025 your healthiest yet with Express Fitness. State-of-the-art equipment, expert trainers, and encouraging community are here to support you every step of the way. Join now and take the first step towards a stronger, happier you. Express Fitness, starting at only $9,500 per month with 11 locations island-wide. your gym for all your needs. Visit www.expressfitnessja.com to sign up today. Want to reduce your high electricity bills? Then Peak Energy has the solution for you. From grid-tied to hybrid solar inverters with full lithium-ion battery pack. Installation and maintenance packages available. Visit us at Shop 1, 3 Mosquito Valley Road, Red Hill, St. Andrew. Call 876-279-8820 or 944-0668. Or email us at peakenergysolutionsja@gmail.com. Peak Energy for everything solar.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Morning, George. Morning to you and the listeners, everyone tuned in. It's bright and sunny now, but a very busy Monday morning. Remember now, we heard it on the news what took place in the vicinity of Malines, Cassia Park intersection in the vicinity of Crown, and that area is hardened up. As a result, it's going to affect productivity, I believe. I'm almost certain, because some motorists are maybe not tuned in, and they might be wondering what's going on. Well, the area is completely blocked. And even if they try the alternate route, try going back further on the boulevard to make it onto Waymouth Drive, you're going to have some problems there, because all of those areas has bumper-to-bumper traffic. If you try to make it back onto Red Hills Road, you will experience traffic. But I noticed if you go through the Eastwood Park Gardens area, that will help a bit, because Malines Road is blocked off, it's easier to access Torrance Wood Glen, to get back onto Hagley Park Road, where there is traffic also. So all of that area, in addition to other areas, right now if you're in the Crossroads area, you're going to experience traffic trying to make it off Linders Road onto Retirement Road, and then going in the other direction, Linders Road, going further down to connect with Slipe Road. All these areas are carrying traffic. So I can imagine Barbican Road and the other areas. But for the time being, it's really busy and all of that. George, some work was done on Waterloo, and it's really looking good. And a lot of work was done on the weekend in many other areas, which I'm not able to talk right now. But something about Barbican Road, George, is not that to say that some of the work was not done, whoever the contractor was, but remember there was some housing development taking place in those areas, and they actually dug a trench across these areas, and I don't think it was properly resurfaced. You understand me?
Yeah.
So all those things have to be taken into consideration, even along Constance Spring Road. You know, when they put up these apartments,
yes,
they run a trench across the road to facilitate sewage or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
And Upper Waterloo Road as well.
Yes. All right? And these are some of the things that happen, occur. All right?
And I'd want to you, Ludlow, I'd want to you. The utility companies who lay the cables on the main thoroughfares, like going up UTEC Papine side, coming up from Ligani, on the side of the road, you know, they dig the thing and they didn't patch it properly. So the rain came and washed out the stuffing, and the holes are opened up.
Right.
Oh, boy.
It's interior materials, or they don't know the proper way of, redoing the road surface, but the contractors are getting the blame.
Yep.
Anyway, there you go. That's my take.
All right, sir. Thank you this morning. Ludlow McLean there with our second traffic report. Up next, front page.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Front page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. All right, so we've been talking a lot about potholes and road repairs and everything, and boy, sometimes you drop into some of these potholes and even your feelings hurt. Your poor car. There's a video that was making the rounds on the weekend, about 23 seconds, of a gentleman whose car fell into one of them, don't know where and at what speed he was going, but the rim broke and the chassis of the vehicle was punctured. There was a hole in it. So this is the video, Mr. King. We have to take down the audio because he was using strong language, as anybody would in this circumstance. So that's the rim. Viewers, YouTubers seeing it. Those on the radio. The man is showing the rim broke like a plate. It just broke off. And maybe the impact caused the rim itself to damage the undercarriage. So the undercarriage of the vehicle is also broken. There's a hole in the undercarriage. He's suggesting that it was caused by the rim. And I don't know what speed you could be going for the rim of your motor car to break like that, and then for the chassis of the vehicle to be cut open. That's amazing. But we have some potholes in the country that can cause that. I'm very certain that the one that we're talking about at the vicinity of Terra Nova Hotel in Waterloo, when you drop into that, yeah, it's over.
And it's how that one will sneak up on you, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of I've seen daily people just dropping it. They didn't see it coming.
Yep.
Yeah. But turning our attention to a matter having to do with the data protection. Gross negligence, that's how the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Kevin Blake, characterized the mishandling of records belonging to the Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse, CISOCA. In a statement published on the Jamaica Constabulary Force's official website, Dr. Blake, assuming full command responsibility, extended his apologies not only to CISOCA's clients but to the entire nation of Jamaica. The commissioner explained that CISOCA had been operating from 2A Ruthven Road for over 20 years before relocating in 2024 to a new facility at Upper Lady Musgrave Road in St. Andrew. During the transition, some records that could not be accommodated for at the new location were placed in a temporary storage facility, which was later vandalized despite being securely locked away. Dr. Blake emphasized that the incident amounted to nothing less than gross negligence on the part of the JCF. He acknowledged that this failure occurred at a time when the force was undergoing or is undergoing significant transformation at an accelerated pace. Furthermore, the commissioner highlighted the gravity of the situation given the sensitive nature of the cases CISOCA handles. He stressed that the compromised records involve some of the most vulnerable members of society, victims of sexual violence and abuse, whose exposure could severely undermine public trust in the JCF at a crucial time when confidence in the force is paramount. For reaction to this and the broader context of data protection, we're being joined by attorney at law and data protection expert Chuck Cameron. Good morning to you.
Morning. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. To get an initial reaction, Chuck, to the incident where those files were exposed, were left at that office that CISOCA used to operate from, where persons could just go and flip through the pages and see sensitive information.
So, for me, that is an example of what the worst case of the impact, the negative impact of failing to put in data protection controls. When we have a Data Protection Act and the right to information privacy, it is meant to safeguard against that. Too often, we equate data protection with IT security. It has nothing to do with IT security, but everything to do with protecting citizens against gross negligence or malintent or just by persons who process their personal data. So I'm happy this was brought to the fore of all data controllers because this is what data protection is all about. And by the way, this is Data Protection Week, although there's no such official declaration.
And how the files were left, the Commissioner of Police in that write-up said that they were securely locked at the location and then the unit, the Sissoko unit, went to a different location from which it's now operating as of last year. But is that explanation enough, though, of how you handle data, be it sensitive data or not? In this case, very sensitive data.
So from a data protection perspective, the question really is, and it extends to all data controllers, was a risk assessment done? Understanding that you're going to change how you're processing that personal data or what you're doing with it, was a data protection impact assessment done beforehand? If it was securely locked, it couldn't be vandalized and accessed. So it does beg the question, but for me, I want us to look at the proactive nature of data protection that requires you to identify risks and put controls in place, understanding that there will always be breaches and these types of vandalization. But the question is, to what extent did you stop, consider that this could happen, and then put controls in place to minimize it?
And that sort of risk control that you do, what would that look like?
So, it would mean the person who is responsible for removing Sissoko to the new premises, identifying to the team and saying, okay, this is highly sensitive data. We need to ensure that we have a documented strategy in place that we can move it from A to point B. They need to contemplate, if it is we leave these documents here in the secure vault, what is the likelihood of someone being able to access it? If this isn't located in New Kingston, is New Kingston known to be prone to vandalism? And if so, is that really a safe place? And then you say, okay, but we don't have anywhere else to do it. Okay, well, we will leave this here for a specific period of time. It is just being cognizant and documenting controls and holding people accountable for what needs to happen. So it's just creating a plan, understanding the risks, understanding what controls you are putting in place, asking yourself, are these controls sufficient? And then holding people accountable for getting whatever the plan was done.
Speaking with Chuck Cameron on this matter of data protection, and more so following news of that data breach at an office that used to be used by Sissoko. Gonna take a break and come back with more.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:31.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Ocho-Rios, or 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
More savings, more choices. Get active with Active Home Center. The one-stop shop for everything for your home. We have more savings, more choices, unbelievable prices. Wide selection with the latest style. The kitchen, bathroom, right down to the tile. Buy the hottest items on spot, don't miss out. Best options under one roof, no doubt. More savings, more choices.
Visit us in store or online at www.activehomecenter.com.
We have more savings, more choices.
Sunday, February 16, 2025 will be pure energy and excitement as thousands hit the streets, running, walking and wheeling with a purpose. The Sagicor Sigma Run isn't just a road race, it's a celebration of people coming together to make a difference. Don't miss the Caribbean's biggest running event, Sagicor Sigma Run 2025. Visit SagicorSigmaRun.com and register now. Run for the fun, donate for the cause. Sponsored by Walden, Pan Jam, National Baking Company, Reggae Marathon, Catherine's Peak, Malay Media and Whistling Frog.
When last you get good bun, you don't know good bun until you have a mother's bakery bun. From you pull open the wrapper and it's soft so till. A sub bun for nice. And from when you take the first bite, love it so Till a sub-bun for nice. Beg your piece.
Get your own Mother's Bakery bun.
I will buy one off you.
Yes, but I will charge a convenience fee.
I will take one. Me too. Mother's Bakery buns. A sub-bun for nice. Try them today.
Data protection under the microscope. We're talking with attorney law and the data protection expert Chuck Cameron. Of course, you know he hosts Design Privacy here on Nationwide at 90 FM, a weekly program giving you valuable information about the Data Protection Act and, of course, the responsibilities and duties of those who have charge of protecting people's personal data. Morning again, Chuck.
Morning, sir.
All right. So here's the thing. This is one of those issues that it will not be sexy for people because people say data protection, so all files left at the place and some people break in and take it out. What's the big deal? And that's the way I wanted to approach addressing the thing, because that's the same reasoning that would cause people to feel that, well, we are wasting time talking about this because it's not that important.
Thanks. So what you are required to do as a data controller is think about the impact a breach can have on your client or data subject. In this instance, we are speaking about two stakeholders: children who allege that sexual offenses have been committed against them, and then innocent persons whose these allegations have been made against. In Jamaica, we know that once there is an allegation of a sexual offense by a child, one of two things happen. Three things. That child is either sent away overseas or sent to the country, or the child is not believed. And why is that? Because they want, in the absence of sending them away and relocating them, their future could be blighted. And not only their future could be blighted, sometimes we take a very selfish approach, and there's a level of embarrassment. On the other flip side, think about the person that has been accused that may not have committed any offense. The Jamaica that I knew back in the day, if it is you're alleged to be a child molester, your life is blighted. And not your life, your life is threatened, or your existence is threatened.
Well, you're correct, your life is blighted. Who's going to employ you?
Well, in Jamaica back in the day, it used to be more hands-on than that.
Mm-hmm.
If it is police were to put you into any lockup and the persons in the jail find out that you're like a child molester,
yes,
it would not bode well for you. So these are the types of harm data controllers are required to contemplate when processing personal data, not reputational risk to the company or reputational risk to the force. And you must stop and think about, if something goes wrong, what is the impact on the child? I would like to say, Sir George, I must commend the JCF and the Commissioner. Every other week or once a month, there's some private sector firm or some other government agency that has a significant breach. 3 months after the fact, 2 months after the fact that it comes out in the public, that private sector company would come out and say, something happened, it is now under control, and we respect your rights to privacy, and we're doing everything to take care of you, without anyone taking responsibility and accountability and acknowledging that persons were exposed to harm and there was some failure somewhere. When we speak about data protection and what is required, it does start at the top on the whole question of governance and transparency and accountability, even before we start talking about the risk assessment.
Yes.
Because if the leadership does not make it an issue, make it important, no one else cares.
And you're saying that Dr. Kevin Blake has gone where private sector leaders don't want to tread.
Refuse. Recently, last week, in the cybersecurity world, it is alleged that up right now, a big medical lab has suffered a breach that should be reported, where those data subjects should be made aware of. But that hasn't even come out in the public. And unless it is put in the public space, All that will happen is that they would 2 weeks, 1 month down the road, they would say, okay, something happened, everything under control, and we respect your rights to privacy. Dr. Kevin Blake has demonstrated what accountability is, because these breaches will happen. The question is what happens after.
But Chuck, you can't just give me that and move on. You know, we're going to come to Dr. Blake, come back to Dr. Blake. But you say that a medical facility, medical field, that there was a leak and the public don't know about it as yet. What more can you tell us publicly?
Because I'm not a cybersecurity expert and I haven't seen any breach, any data myself to validate that.
Yes.
I could only talk about hearsay and not go any further.
Hear you on that. So here's the thing, though. At the same time, you praise Dr. Blake rightly, because you've said that he's taken ownership of the situation, put a face to accountability, whereby other entities in the private sector would hide behind some gobbledygook statement and three-liner and say, well, everything is all right now, we move on. You've praised him for that, and correctly so. What about the responsibility of organizations like the JCF, which handle sensitive information, and perhaps it is that apart from medical facilities, the police would handle the most sensitive information because they get details that perhaps don't even reach to the court in terms of allegations. The responsibility to know that this is so important that if we are moving house, there are certain things you do not leave when you're moving from one location to a newer location. And among the things that are essential movables is information like this. Perhaps it is that the police need to be wrapped on the knuckles, at least for not taking with them all of the information that was then subject to the vandalism and breach that we're now talking about.
If we're speaking about wrapped on the knuckles, George, all data controllers, all organizations have to wrap on the knuckles. And I'm going to challenge one of the things you just said, that police may have the most sensitive data. I would suggest that media houses like yourself have the most sensitive data, because everything that happens, whether true or not, as long as it's salacious and can negatively impact, you learn about it. The question is, what do media houses do with all of those leads and information that they receive? So the point I'm making, and I'm not turning the light.
No, man, I'm liking the posture you're taking, because I would push back to you at you and say that if we're moving to new digs from Nationwide to our current for instance, when we move from Mannings Hill Road to our current location here on Bradley Avenue, there is certain information that had to come with us. So that's what I'm saying to you, that the police as an organization.
So George,
yes,
what have you done with your last old phone that you receive all the WhatsApp messages and all the leads?
What I've done with it
today? Yes, and can you say all the persons in your organization have similarly treated with their old phone?
No, I can't vouch for what they've done with it, but I know what I've done with mine.
Okay, so I'm saying this is institutional.
Yeah.
And it's not any one instant. We do not address our minds to the harm we're exposing data subjects to by our very daily operations. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Well, the question that you're asking now is who should be wrapping the JCF on their knuckles and all other data controllers? That's the question, because this is Data Protection Week, and the Data Protection Act has created an oversight by a supervisory authority in the Office of the Information.
That's where I was going with the line of questioning, because we haven't heard from them yet, have we?
I have not heard any public statement.
And I can tell you that no public statement has come to newsroom inboxes, certainly not here.
So this is where, and I go one step beyond that. As I understand, her powers have not even been activated. So while we created this robust framework, it has the most far-reaching teeth, it still remained powerless. However, the Office of the Information Commissioner does have a platform, and this is a learning opportunity and a time to use it and give guidance as to what ought to happen, because we may not everybody understands, and we may not actually know the answers. So this was and still remains, especially though this is Data Protection Week, or Data Protection Day is tomorrow. But this still is an opportunity to give guidance in a very public way as to the responsibilities of the data controller and the fact that we are supposed to be protecting our clients and data.
So when you say that the officer, the information commissioner's powers have not been activated, what do you mean?
So while the rest of the legislation, as it is, she has powers of assessment. She can go in to the police force and say, let me look at these things. She could summon them and question them. She can tell them, stop using all station diaries until you satisfy me that you have implemented the requisite data processing standards. None of those enforcement powers have been activated as yet.
And what is necessary for them to be activated?
As I understand it, a ministerial order that's gazetted. So we do have to put the light on the government and beg the question, was this all form?
And no substance?
And no substance. Why take taxpayers' money, set up such a robust entity and simply not sign a document and give her the requisite power?
And the ministry?
So, well, as it is now, it should have an oversight body. Is there actually an oversight body?
But even before the oversight body, Chuck, it would need a ministerial order, so it has to come from somewhere. So is it national security? Is it data protection? What?
And the reason why I try to avoid the question, Sir George, is because with the changing of the ministries and the reconfiguration,
you're not quite sure.
The closest ministry is the Ministry of Information and Technology.
Yeah, we need to, Tona, we need to.
The Ministry of Information, the ministry that deals with information.
Yeah. But notwithstanding the non-activation of these awesome powers, which look good on paper as you're agreeing, couldn't the Information Commissioner, and so much profile has been given to this issue, still not have words with the JCF High Command, still not say something publicly about this kind of thing? Wouldn't that be good form?
Even if her powers were activated, it's not anticipated that she'd be using her powers as it, because we're too early in the journey. What is expected of her is exactly what you say, some level of engagements with the data controller on such a public issue in the public space, because it is a learning and advocacy opportunity. So even if she had the powers, it is not anticipated that she'd be using it in the first year, the second year, the third year, because remember, we're coming from ground zero.
Yeah.
So it will take time, but during this time, there must be the education, there must be the ongoing advocacy, and there must be the sense of timing and presence of mind to use opportunities like this to educate the public and other data controllers.
100 years from now, Chuck Cameron, when we're talking about data privacy and expertise, you will be held up as the first data protection and data privacy expert and authority in this country. Thank you this morning, because you've raised some serious issues for us to probe and follow through as journalists, and of course we need to know more so we can better inform the public. Thank you this morning.
All the best to your listeners. Thank you.
Attorney at law and data protection expert and a talk show host, Chuck Cameron. They're talking about the Data Protection Act germinating from the situation where some old Sissoka files left at the old Sissoka's location. They broke into the secure box that they were in, and the data became publicly available to the vandals. Luckily they didn't splash them all over social media, and the police commissioners apologized for the break-in, calling it what's the phrase he used?
He said it was gross negligence.
Gross negligence is what he said.
And has now been, the Gleaner has now reported that the police commissioner says the files have been secured. They were taken from the location and now in the custody of the JCF. Gonna take a break and come back with more.
Listen up, motorists. Speeding burns more gas. So slow down. The life you save may be your own, and also that of your loved ones. Slow down. Save lives and money. The time by the Insurance Association of Jamaica is
7:47.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The Ministry of National Security presents Cyber Smart Conference 2025, February 11 to 12 from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the AC Marriott Hotel under the theme Stay Safe in Cyberspace. Join leading experts and professionals to advance cybersecurity practices and build a safer cyberspace for all. Gain the knowledge and tools to address emerging threats in the digital world. To register and for more details, visit mns.gov.jm. That's the Cyber Smart Conference 2025, February 11 to 12 at the AC Marriott Hotel. See you there!
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10 or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice in the electrical business.
Are you ready for it?
Revo. Coming soon.
I'm being told by someone in the know that the Information Minister is not responsible for the Data Protection Act that currently falls. The contact says under OPM, it originated and remains with the technology portfolio. So the de facto technology minister, I'm being told, would be the Prime Minister. And this is someone who is involved in that technical area. So that's what I'm being told, that the issue of the powers of the Information Commissioner and the ministerial order that needs to be gazetted to unlock those awesome powers. The technology minister, who's de facto the Prime Minister, is the technology minister, would be responsible for that. So that's the update I'm being given. Yeah. The issue, Tona, that we're going to next is the St. Andrew North Police Division, because they had a town hall meeting on Sunday, and the commanding officer, Randy Sweeney, is an acting superintendent. He was updating residents about the crime situation in St. Andrew North for 2024 and, of course, what the plans are for 25.
2024 period was a very challenging one for the St. Andrew North Division, especially when it comes to larceny of motor vehicles, breaking. It contributed to over 400 major crimes, and that is in comparison to 328 for 2023. So that saw a 24% increase in crimes, major crimes that is, across the division. Despite this, I can assure you that we have been utilizing various strategies and tools, which we will continue in 2025, to ensure that the citizens of the St. Andrew North Division, or those passing through, are safe and secure. So this table depicts some of our category 1 crimes. I said before, murder 66, and that increased by 7. And there were some troubling areas for us in 2024. Hopefully that's not the same this year, especially up there in Lawrence Tavern, where we had almost a 100% increase in murders. Areas affected primarily included the King Weston, Florence's space, Rosal space. Those are some of the areas. And due to our strategies, we have seen where that has been minimized, leading to the last quarter rather of the year. Shooting also saw an increase. Robbery, there was a decrease. Breaking increase, we recorded 74 last year. And the largest of motor vehicle, which I spoke about earlier, we have over 130. Additionally, there are some motor vehicles that were robbed which is not in this number here. So that would pretty much put us over 160 motor vehicles being stolen, whether through larceny or robbery. And this is a breakdown of the murders and shootings for last year. Constant Spring saw a decline in both murders and shootings. Notwithstanding, we saw, based on our analysis, we saw where most of the shootings or murders that occur in the Constant Spring space took place along the Whitehall Avenue, Manningsville Road area there, covering a little part of Cassava Piece. So if you see where we implemented several strategies to include curfew affecting that area, it's coming off that analysis that we did and saw where a lot of the murders and shootings actually took place in that elbow there. Grand Sven space saw an increase in murders. And again, you see where we have to implement curfews, which is somewhat proactive and reactive to prevent escalation of violence in that space. Red Hills saw over 100% increase in murders. Stone Hill increase. Lawrence Tavern spoke about that earlier. 1 for Gardentown, 3 for Irish Town, and 0 for Mavis Bank. What our intelligence is suggesting is the reason for these murders. And the red column depicts 2024. We're seeing that most of our murders, over 50% of our murders, are attributed to gang. 8 attributed to interpersonal relationship. And this is important, especially concerning domestic violence. Too often we have seen where these have resulted in murders of family members. So I'm imploring on citizens, reach out to the police whenever we have situations like these. We have a vibrant domestic violence intervention center there at Constant Spring, and the team is also briefed. In fact, we are guided by policy in treating with domestic violence. It is something that we do not take lightly. In fact, we have seen where a number of murders emanate right there from simple domestic disputes.
That's the commanding officer for the St. Andrew North Police, Acting Superintendent Randy Sweeney, who just told us that 160 vehicles were stolen in the police division last year. He also gave a breakdown of the type of motor vehicles that were stolen.
And this is a breakdown of the larceny of motor vehicle by month. And if you track the red columns, you see where it reached a high of 19 in September. We re-strategized, and thereafter we saw a decline to a point where in December we see where only 3 vehicles were reported stolen. And I can tell you it's with the help of citizens. In fact, we have reached out on numerous occasions through social media, traditional media, meetings, imploring on them to utilize various strategies that can reduce the likelihood of them becoming victims of crime. And that is through a process called target hardening. So for example, if these larceny of motor vehicles, our stats have shown, or analysis rather have shown that most of these vehicles are stolen at night between, say, 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. And the area, such as the Avondale and the Meadowbrook area, account for a lot of these vehicles. So if we highlight these things, we can encourage persons to use more strategies, neighborhood watch, CCTV, utilizing steering locks. And of course, we believe that some of the persons who were arrested through deliberate approach from members of the St. Andrew North Division contributed significantly to this. So persons following the media may see where one Kieran Mason, though he breaks into house, that is his expertise, we have the view that he stole several vehicles. And there are other inroads that we made to include the seizure of technological equipment that we believe are contributing to the larceny of motor vehicle. And thereafter, we saw some decline. So we hope that that will continue into 2025. So here I spoke about this in relation to the larceny of motor vehicle analysis that was done. Most of these vehicles are actually stolen from the Constant Spring area. So I'm urging members in these areas, citizens in these areas, please put the necessary things in place to reduce the likelihood of you becoming a victim of crime. By doing this, you can significantly reduce the opportunities of these perpetrators. But the vehicles that tend to be targeted are the Probox, the Axio, the Voxy, Mark-X, Nissan AD wagon, Subaru Impreza, Honda Fit, and the Honda Grace. Notwithstanding, we are seeing where several high-end motor vehicles were also stolen, such as the BMWs and the latest motor vehicles, 2024, 2023. So these criminals are very tech savvy, I tell you.
Acting Superintendent Randy Sweeney, head of the St. Andrew North Police. We break for Across Jamaica. Back with more after those things.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales. For a better choice in the electrical business.
JCAP, respect the music, respect the creators, play by the rules. The time by JCAP is
8 o'clock.
Success, powered by learning. The temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us, is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's Across Jamaica this morning.
In Across Jamaica this Monday morning, the Seaforth Police in St. Thomas are seeking the public's help locating a 28-year-old woman from Whitehall in the parish. She is Rashni Bonfield of Golden Valley District. Ms. Bonfield was reported missing on Sunday. She's of fair complexion, medium build, and about 5 feet 3 inches tall. The Seaforth Police say Ms. Bonfield was last seen at home at about 3:30 p.m. She was wearing a white t-shirt, black shorts, and a pair of black slippers. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Rashni Bonfield is being asked to contact the Seaforth Police at 876-982-4280, the Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Detectives in Westmoreland have charged 2 men with possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition. This follows the seizure of a firearm and several rounds of ammunition from their home in Lennox, Darlaston in the parish on Sunday. Charged are 38-year-old farmer Philip Warren, otherwise called Max, and a 22-year-old Rochelle Hacker, otherwise called Rush. Reports from the Darlaston police are that lawmen conducted a search of Warren and Hacker's residence at about 5:20 a.m. and found a Taurus pistol. The weapon was loaded with 9mm round and fitted with a magazine containing 12 rounds. The police say 5 additional rounds were found in a pouch under a bed. Both were taken into custody and were subsequently charged for the offenses. Some 2,500 residents from several communities in southern Trelawney are set to benefit from more reliable access to potable water under a $75 million project being undertaken by the National Water Commission, NWC. These include Jacksontown, Barnstable, Binford, Bottom Common, Grove, First Hill, and Stewart Town. Minister of Economic Growth, or Minister with Responsibility for Water, Matthew Samuda, broke ground for the Jacksontown Pipeline project on Friday. The project is expected to be completed within 3 months and will involve the laying of 1.5 kilometers of ductile iron pipe from the Barnstable well to Jacksontown Square. 500 meters of replacement distribution main will also be installed in the project area. The project is also expected to reduce energy consumption for pumping and minimize non-revenue water loss for the NWC. Minister Samuda says the project represents the first phase of a broader $500 million investment in water infrastructure for southern Trelawney. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Monday morning.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Enough power tool, big to small. Jack on my figure, dig the wall. Our Total Tools. Beat back a figure, trim the lawn. We have everything a job demand. Total Tools. We rent them, sell them, and fix them. Also give Total Tools a call. When I say home improvement, landscape construction, a Total Tools are your option. Home improvement, landscape construction, Total Tools are your option.
Total Tools, located at 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston.
And lot C6 Jackson, Sentence Bay. Call us today.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, and we're continuing our discussions in relation to data protection. Today, or tomorrow rather, will be Data Privacy Day, January 28th. So turning our attention to that, and under the annual observance, it's dedicated to raising awareness and celebrating the importance of privacy and data protection. It serves as a valuable opportunity for privacy professionals to reflect on the current state of data privacy, explore future trends, and enhance awareness within their organizations. In Jamaica, the Office of the Information Commissioner, the OIC, stands as the nation's data privacy watchdog. Established in 2021 following the enactment of the Data Protection Act 2020, the OIC plays a crucial role in ensuring compliance with the Act, providing guidelines to organizations and promoting public awareness of data protection rights and responsibilities. To delve into Data Privacy Day and discuss key issues related to the IOC, we're being joined by the Deputy Information Commissioner, David Gray, and Communication and International Relations Manager, Cecil Toms. Good morning to you, Cecil, David.
Good morning. Good morning, Tana. Thank you so much for having us. And by the way, Happy New Year. It's just, 27 days?
It's just, Cecil?
It's just 27 days into the new year.
Well, Happy New Year to both of you as well, and thank you so much. So let's begin with you, David. When we speak about data protection, what are we talking about, and what's the role of the Office of the Information Commissioner?
Well, data protection refers to all the practices and measures that have been taken to safeguard the privacy and integrity and confidentiality of personal data. That includes, of course, all the methods of ensuring data that is being utilized is accurate, it is up to date, it is being kept in a manner that is totally in keeping with the security methods. You have methods such as encryption, data anonymity, and principles and practices such as that to ensure and safeguard the protection of the personal data from data subjects. And data subjects, as you know, are you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the office itself was established as a result of the passage of the Data Protection Act. And it established the Office of the Information Commissioner, and it gave the commissioner certain duties. These duties, among other things, include monitoring compliance with the Data Protection Act and any regulations which have been made, giving to the minister such advice as may be appropriate on matters relating to the operation of the Act, promoting the observance of the requirement of the Act and good practice of data controllers, to liaise with entities and agencies to prepare such guidelines, appropriate guidelines, which will ensure that the entities, of course, adhere to the practices of the data protection and to the constraints of the Data Protection Act. We're also in partnership with our trade associations where they have specific legislative needs in relation to data protection matters, that they would prepare such guidelines and we would review them as appropriate.
And the duties,
that's in a nutshell.
Yes, David, and the duties of the Information Commissioner, are those properly activated?
Yes, that.
And I say that to say because we had a conversation earlier where it was being placed on the table that there needed to be a ministerial order for those powers to be properly gazetted and activated for the Information Commissioner to act on them.
There are two.
David? Did we just lose David? Yes, no, maybe so. Or we lost both guests. All right, so let's try to fix our lines. It seems we have lost both our guests. But this morning we're talking to Cecil Toms, the Communication and International Relations Manager there at the Office of the Information Commissioner, and the Deputy Information Commissioner, David Gray, talking to us about Data Privacy Day, which is coming up tomorrow, January 28, and all matters having to do with data protection in Jamaica. And of course, if you've been tuned into Nationwide this morning from 7:20, we had a conversation with a data expert, Chuck Cameron, attorney at law as well, about that data breach there in relation to some Sissoka files at one of their previous offices. We have both gentlemen back on the line. David, Cecil.
Good morning. Could you repeat where we left off?
Sure. Right. You were mentioning about the duties of the Information Commissioner. And I was mentioning that we had a conversation earlier where it was being placed on the table that there needed to be a ministerial order gazetted for the powers of the Information Commissioner to be properly activated. So I was asking you if that is the case, or the powers are already properly activated.
Well, you have two different issues which are being discussed. One is that there are certain sections of the Act which have not yet been brought into operation by the legislative arm of the government. Now, in relation to the matter, hello?
Yes, you're listening.
Okay, you're hearing me.
Yes.
I did not hear the earlier conversation, but in relation to matters such as the reporting of a breach, that section has been brought into operation. And if a situation occurs where a breach has occurred, or it has been identified that there has been a contravention of the Act, the data controller has 72 hours within which to notify the Office of the Information Commissioner. And we want to stress this, that our valued partners who are data controllers, if it is that they have identified that a breach or a breach or security breach or contravention of the Act has been identified, that they notify us in keeping with the law, which requires them to give us the notification within 72 hours of a breach
and for the
occurred.
For the Information Commissioner now, after the IC is notified, what does the Information Commissioner do?
Well, once we are in receipt of the information, we would be in touch with their data protection officer to ascertain the facts, ensure that all the steps to safeguard the data subject's information has been put in place, and of course to examine the circumstances under which the breach has occurred.
Okay.
What has not yet been brought into operation is if it is found that there has been an offense which may involve the initiation of a penalty, that section of the Act has not yet been brought into force.
Is there any timeline about when that will be operationalized?
I am not in a position to say, as you know, that would be a direction that we would be taking from the legislative arm.
Okay. Is that in relation to the fact that the timeline for when data controllers are mandated to have their systems up and in full effect has not come into effect yet? In relation to the offenses part and the penalties?
The Act has been and is being brought into operation in phases. And in phases, where the phases that have been brought in require registration thus far, require reporting of breaches, but the area of imposition of penalties has not yet been brought into operation.
Oh, but this is
in keeping with the policy direction that has been instituted.
Okay, but doesn't that leave the Information Commissioner, the office, sort of handicapped? Because if something happens now, you don't have any powers to sanction those who are in breach.
I would not be able to respond in that way to that. This is a policy decision that would have been taken to facilitate the phased implementation of the Act. As you know, it's a very new Act, and it is very far-reaching in its scope and in its operation. And the policymakers, in bringing into operation the various sections of the Act, thought it best that the phased approach be applied.
For example, David, a matter that is in the news now has to do with some Sissoka files that were at a previous Sissoka office that were exposed. There was a breach, a data breach there. The files were said to be securely locked. There was a vandalism at the location that is not being used anymore by the Sissoka unit. and they were left for anybody who wanted to see them for a while to see them. In relation to that, going back to the point you made about data controllers reporting within 72 hours, in a case like that, the Jamaica Constabulary Force would need to report to to your office.
The given Section 21 of the Act, the Office of the Commissioner of Police would have to make a report to the Office of the Information Commissioner on the circumstances of the contravention on breach.
And if they don't within 72 hours of the breach being identified, what happens?
At this stage, there would be an investigation would not yet have been initiated per se into the circumstances. And it would be at the end of an investigation, there would have to be a determination as to whether or not any sanctions under the legislation could be applied.
But you're saying to me that you're not able to apply any penalties.
We don't know. We do not yet know how the contravention, which would have involved the files, occurred. We don't know those circumstances. So at this stage, it would be premature to say whether or not a penal sanction would be applicable. All of that would have to come arising from an investigation into the matter.
Gotcha. Cecil, back on the line as well?
Yes, I'm back here.
Right. So in relation now to tomorrow, which is being observed as Data Privacy Day, talk to us about how the IOC plans to observe the day.
Thank you, Tana. Well, in terms
the OIC.
of Data Privacy Day,
yes,
the Office of the Information Commissioner, we're asking members within the data privacy sphere to stay connected to our social media pages and note the kind of information that we will be pushing out. The Information Commissioner will also be a keynote speaker. Hello?
Yes, we're listening, Cecil.
Okay. The Information Commissioner will also be speaking at a UTech symposium tomorrow from about 10 o'clock until 1 p.m., I believe, as well as we intend to have our own conference, the second annual conference on February 19, and that will feature key speeches from data protection experts. We're also going to be having a panel discussion on current data protection challenges and trends. And of course, it offers an opportunity for, data protection officers to network with professionals in the field.
And then you're hosting your second annual conference as well on February 19. So tomorrow, the commissioner is speaking at that event at UTech, but also in February, you're hosting your second annual conference. Talk to us about that, what persons can look forward to at that event.
Well, I just said it. Yes.
Oh, so I missed that.
The commissioner will be at the UTech symposium tomorrow.
Right.
Well, for our February 19 conference, it is the second annual one. It will be bigger and better, and that will feature keynote speakers from, the data protection field. We're going to be having a panel discussion on data protection challenges and trends. We're going to have latest developments in relation to data protection laws and regulations, and we're encouraging, it's a specially invited event, and we're hoping to have the conference streaming on air as well as on our YouTube platform as well.
Okay. And Cecil, if for persons listening, if you could say in a synopsis how Jamaica's data protection framework align with international best practices, what would you tell them?
Well, I would say that Jamaica's data protection framework mimics that or is similar to that of the general data protection regulations in the UK. We ensure that persons' personal information is confidential and secure, and it provides individuals with rights such as access, rectification, and ensuring that this office, that Jamaicans can trust this office in monitoring compliance of data controllers. And by data controllers, we mean those who determine the how and the why your information is processed.
Mm-hmm. And David, coming back to you, June last year, the OIC began the registration of data controllers. Could you provide us with an update about how that process is going?
Well, registration is ongoing. As you know, the registration cycle is a 12-month cycle, which would have been from December 2023 to November the 30th, 2024. So we're in the process now of completing those registration applications, and we are now on the cusp of another. Well, we are no longer on the cusp. We have commenced the new registration cycle for 2024-2025, which is ongoing.
And about how many data controllers have registered?
At this time, I don't have the most updated figures with me, but what it is safe for me to say is that the compliance levels are a bit lower than we would have anticipated. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be ramping up our efforts to try to get the compliance levels much higher.
And what challenges have been identified that's hindering people from registering more quickly and complying better?
Well, it could include having the available information which is required for registration. It can be various IT challenges, both by the data controller and in linking with our systems. There can be several challenges, but the office is available and the office is functional and willing to assist all data controllers once they get in touch with us, so that we can work through whatever issues they may have.
And David, as I give the final word to you, just to confirm from you, your overseeing ministry, which ministry oversees the Information Commissioner, the Office of the Information Commissioner?
The Office of the Information Commissioner falls under the Office of the Prime Minister.
Oh, OPM. Okay, giving the final word to you before we let you go.
Well, a final word would be, I would want to encourage all our data controllers, those who have not yet achieved or started the process of registration, to come forward and let us try to get everyone registered. Data privacy and data protection is everybody's business. So we just want to encourage everybody to get on board so that as the Jamaican data protection landscape evolves, we can all strive to protect our data, offer and afford all businesses the protection that is required under the law. And as we move forward to achieving our Vision 2030 objective, we make Jamaica a better place for everyone.
David Gray, the Deputy Information Commissioner, and Cecil Toms, Communication and International Relations Manager, talking to us this morning about Data Privacy Day coming up tomorrow and other matters having to do with data protection in Jamaica. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on this morning and speaking with me.
Morning, Anton. Thank you.
Going to take a break and come back with more.
Apply for your NHD refunds at nhd.gov.jm or via the NHD app. Do not click on any links offering to help you. The time by the NHD is
8:26.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy, it's all good inside, is
27 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, also 27 out west in Montego Bay, and 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Feel
Guilty. Outperform, outlast. Guilty. With top performance. Guilty. Jackama. Reliable. Full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electricians. Fancy leg tools, free parts and free repairs. Free parts, free repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-61114. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
Missed your chance to spruce up in December? Then don't miss this opportunity. Design Options announces their after stock taking sale. Discounts on area rugs, cushion covers, selected drapery rods, and fabrics. Stocks are limited on some items, so come early. Our knowledgeable and courteous staff are here to help. Design Options Limited, what the well-dressed room is wearing. Located at 8 Shortwood Road, telephone 876-931-6354.
Yo, my boss. Yo, my general. Yo, my king. The new BK Mega Stacker. Come for run everything. Choose your style. Double, triple, or quad stack. Juicy grilled beef. Plus crispy bacon, some stark-rific sauce, and layers of melted cheese. So if you think you can angle it, stackify yourself today. Order the BK Mega Stacker and have it your way. The new BK Mega Stacker. Built for satisfaction. Limited time. Only at Burger King.
$8:29 on this Friday morning.
Is it Friday?
Monday morning? No. Well, no. You don't realize that the police, they sent a statement. They sent a statement about the issue in Mullines Road.
Yes.
But they recalled it, so we can't tell the public what was said.
Right.
So, I heard that the traffic on the road. Oh, see, it just come now. Turner, as if on cue. What time now?
Another JSF statement?
Oh, no, this was the first one. This was the 808 one. 808 Heartbreak. Yeah, the traffic situation on the road, I'm being told, was absolutely bad. You know that you have people, as we're going to the phones, King? We're going to the phones? 630-9371, 9372, 9373, 9374, 618-8255. A friend of mine lost their dog on the weekend. But here's the thing. You know, people say, boy, I just want a pet, I want a dog. But this dog had been a part of the family for 14 years.
Wow.
14 years. And they said they woke up at 3 a.m. on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
The dog was having trouble breathing, and they took the dog to the vet. And the vet said, boy, the dog was traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to put the dog down. So after 14 years, dog like a
dog
member
is
of the
family.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Dog is family.
Yeah. So, yeah, it might seem trite to some people, but serious thing to people who love pets and, you know, who have them as part of the family.
Not the most ideal segue, but have you seen the dog video?
The dog video?
Yeah.
Which one? The dog riding the skateboard?
No.
Which one?
Of the dog being skinned, being cleaned up.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
In the most unhygienic of
In Jamaica?
circumstances.
What?
Purportedly.
My people, him?
Yes, George.
My people, him?
Yes, your people.
I couldn't want to. Well, no. I couldn't want to them. Why have one a wee?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I didn't see that.
Yes.
I didn't see that.
We'll talk about it somewhere later. Richie, good morning.
Good morning, Tana.
Good morning.
Good morning, Master George.
Morning, Richie.
Well, we heard of pets that we love. I have a cat here, you see? And they rat them always cut all the mesh and come in the house. I used to have that cat, no more problem with the rat.
Mm-hmm.
My neighbor is a male. My neighbor have one as well. And the two cats not have fight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago, I realized that little part of the cat foot or by the leg. So some year lost sometimes. So I put it with the cat yesterday and noticed him. The next cat bite him and it took work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having time. But you know what happened?
When you said tie him, you mean tie the cat?
I put a right on the side with a piece of wire around the neck.
You tie the cat?
Of course. Listen to me. You see, when it gets worse,
yeah.
Next thing gonna bush gonna hide and I'll come back and I'm dead.
Oh. I didn't know you could tie cats. I never knew that.
But I tell you what now. The cat, when I tie the cat lay down. Me take him up and then just lay down beside me and I get some goat down and stuff the holes and stay there and make them suffocate. And then me just stand. Believe me, the cat just lay down so quietly and make me just see. Believe me, no? Up to this man, me just see. So we have all have an must be love. I love the cat and I love dog for real.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, brethren, you remember how the way I tell you, say, you have challenges as Mackenzie? You remember tell you?
So you're one of the few people who are giving me some support.
Brethren, listen, man. We know that man I really did already now.
Yeah, man, that is true. That is true. That is true.
Yes, man.
That is
so
true.
If you lose, we don't have nothing to say.
Yeah, but people are going like say, we must go take on somebody who can't play. We must take on the best. That's how life go.
May I say,
yeah, man.
We know say whether you do your best. But you may have it, you know?
Yeah, but you're that smart because I not lose. By fear means or foul.
Tala,
this man Tana go bet pan, man.
No, man.
Of course
no,
not.
Man.
You man, you could never do that. You're mad.
100%.
No, man, me and Tana, me and Tana walk into battle, you know.
Yeah,
man.
But listen, me now.
Yeah,
yes,
man.
man, but I believe it can end up to be a draw very, very close.
All right, sir.
Yes, man.
We're going to organize it. There, Richie?
The boy here, but we don't say well, I'll not be able to talk about it, but give somebody a try.
All right, sir. Respect.
Cool.
Who's this now? Carl?
Yeah, morning, Master.
Morning, Master Carl.
Good morning to you.
Master George, me go to your alignment and out from Olaba Road, the 36 Olaba Road, Saturday. They get very bad treatment out there, Saturday.
What?
Very bad treatment.
What them do? Have you wait long?
No, man. After when me go, Master George, a very polite lady came out and asked me what is my purpose here, and I explained to her, and she said, I must come inside the office to pull out a form and give it to me and collect $3,000 from me. When I drove up on the alignment stand, the guy told me that he's not, the vehicle doesn't want to align. He didn't shake the tire, nothing, Master George. He just said to me, say, car, Ivan need 2 shocks, so we must come back up and go back inside and collect back the money. So he don't do no service on the vehicle, doesn't do no inspection on the vehicle, nothing. When I went inside at the business place, both the lady and a gentleman tell me, say, it's only $1,000 I must get back because they did an inspection on the vehicle. I said to him, say, no. And he refused to give me back I did decide to give $1,000 for the guy. Tell me that he shocks the vehicle one.
Right.
But when him decide says it's $1,000, I say, okay, have it $3,000. So I walk out your business place. I won't go back there.
Yes.
Anyhow, come to Mr. Oral Chase, you know. Him say, we as labor right are dogs.
That's what he said? When did he say that?
Yes, I have the video of a man tackle him also about it. And he refused to discuss it with the man.
Hold on, Carl, hold on there. You're saying that Oral Tracy said what?
He called we dog, labor right dog.
So Oral Tracy is on record as calling labor rights dogs is what you are saying?
I can get it sent to you immediately if you want it. And a gentleman tackle him also about it. And he continued to tell the man that the man a different argument he mean I know. But what I need to say to him, he is so fool that him could line up a white man, did have two British visa, not from Jamaica, and them put the line up behind a man. We went over to Nannyville and called the Jamaica people damn idiot. Maybe him is one of the idiots that Golding could be calling. For black people to be lining up behind a white man, that a white man could call you a damn idiot.
Hold on though, Carl. Hold on though. Listen, I know that you there's no love lost between, well, not even between, because I've never heard Golding say anything about you, Mark Golding. But here's the thing. I don't understand how you are upset by what you say that Oral Tracy said, and you turn it into a Mark Golding thing. No, Oral Tracy, if you vex with.
No, hold on, because him line up behind a white man and could be calling we black dogs.
So hold on there. You vex that. Carl, wait a little bit. No,
hold on, Mark George. If him just say we are black dogs.
How you get that in now?
It is a shame for him to
Carl,
do
you see why I'm asking for hold on? Carl, this is why I'm asking for hold on.
Go ahead, Mark George.
Did Oral Tracy say dog or black dog? Because you tell me two story.
He said dog. So
you get black. Then you can't do that though. You can't do that. Right. So you say him said dog. You say he said dog.
Labor right, them are dogs.
Alright, hold on now.
I am a labor right.
Then Carl, hold on.
Oral Tracy that.
Carl, hold on now. So you say Oral Tracy said that. So why you not quarrel with Oral Tracy? Who Oral Tracy saying? Oral Tracy is on record saying him support Mark Golding?
Mas George,
yeah.
You know, so we know better than them. We go play with Mas George. We go places and see those people. Them are them meeting. Them they don't have on their shirt and then put all them hat over the whole of them face now. We pass through and see them now.
Right. So you're saying you haven't seen. You're saying you haven't seen him, but what? You haven't heard him say that he supports him, but you see him somewhere. What are you saying? But even so, Carl. But even so. I think that if you have a problem with what Oral Tracy said, you know,
I'm trying to get him. I am trying to get him.
You didn't call him man and but you know where to find him. You know where to find him. You know where to find him. You need to find him. But I don't see Carl how you can have beef with Oral Tracy and then mix Mark Golding in there. It don't make sense to me.
Yeah,
but anyway,
the reason why he could call him a labor right dog. We know why.
Alright, sir. I hear you this morning. Call Oral Tracy though and register your complaint directly. Because we know you're not afraid to talk to people. Alright? Cool.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:39.
Skillset Talent Solutions offers marketing, accounting, business registration, logo creation, tax filing, background checks, and recruiting services. Call them at 876-599-3212. The temperature by Skillset Talent Solutions is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
You can have it all. Company events, birthday parties, or the wedding of your dreams. It's all possible at Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts. We have magnificent event rooms and a dedicated team that will make your event the best experience that only Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts can offer. Contact us at 876-619-0000 or call your favorite travel agency and ask about our promotion designed especially for you.
Enough power tool, big to small. Jackama figure dig the wall. Our Total Tools. Beat Waka figure trim the lawn. We have everything a job demand. Total Tools. We rent them, sell them and fix them. Also give Total Tools a call. When you say home improvement, landscape construction, a Total Tools are your option. Home improvement, landscape construction, Total Tools are your option. Total Tools located at 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, 34 Slive Road, Kingston. And lot C6 Jacksaw, Sentence Bay. Call us today.
O'Neill, good morning.
Oh, George.
Morning, sir.
Morning, man. Them said to each his own. And we try to accept the fact that all views must contend. But I consider myself somewhat JLP sympathizer. But I do just want to say to my other sympathizers that we want to raise the level of discourse. And would I love when people like Fox and these guys who are well known now in Radio Land call to support JLP, that they raise the level of the discourse. We believe that JLP, this government, especially this administration, has too much to boast about than for us to come on the radio waves and to get into cash. And I see the blogs them from Oral, but I'm not going to give him any more popularity or plug that than he already have. I think we have too much to boast about and shout about as a government to get involved in that. I didn't call to talk about that, but I just want to say that to all the supporters, the sympathizers, like I am. Don't get dragged out into that. We're above that. We're big on that. We are wholly for both fans. So we're not going to go to politics there and then quarrel and cuss out.
I'm happy that you want to avoid that. Yeah?
Yeah, we're not going there this time around. Yeah, we're staying above the fray.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to talk to you about this morning, George, is what you and Keith Duncan has done. I think you kind of create a little bit of jittery in the system. With the comment.
But the numbers don't lie, though, you know, O'Neill. And I was just looking. I was pivoting from the numbers.
Yes.
And the numbers are cause for alarm.
Yes, but you're scaring us out here.
No, don't scare me. I'm scaring you. Remember, listen. You think me don't want an increase? Me want an increase. But working in the private sector, and it's a different situation. But everybody who's working wants an increase. But I'm saying, for what we pay and what we are paying out, can you imagine if the billions more, you talk about raising income tax threshold, and you know that when the election season gets high, that's where people are gonna go. Yeah? So we're at 1.7, the most at 2 million, 2.5, 3 billion, and 3 million. And that's what Keith Duncan is saying. He's saying, all right, so if you raise it to that, you're gonna have to find extra in terms of fiscal space. Where is it going to come from is a simple question I'm asking. So maybe somebody can come and say, George, simple thing that if we raise it to 3 million, the income tax threshold, and add another 38 billion to the wage bill by virtue of doing so, we are going to find 38 billion more to pay this 3 million threshold. We can find it by doing XYZ. That's what I want to hear. I'm just saying that for now, with what we have in front of us, it's not immediate and obvious where it is that the extra 38 billion is coming from if we are to, for argument's sake, raise the threshold to 3 million. Maybe there's an answer. I'm just saying, O'Neill, I don't see the answer yet.
Yeah, the argument is solid, Judge. It's just that it come across a little bit frightening. But you know my problem with my administration. I don't understand how is it that we don't have people that can do the backroom negotiation before we come around to the real negotiation.
But I said this to you though. That's a difficult thing. Backroom negotiation with trade unions are difficult things, because one of the things that we all know but we fail to acknowledge publicly, trade unions and politics in bed, and we know that the trade unions are aligned to political parties. Why we're not blind. The leading trade union, the trade union bosses, you see many of them at the respective conferences on the platform making speeches. So hold on. What I'm trying to say is this: no trade unionist is going to pass up a chance to destabilize a government in power, or to do something that can redound to the political advantage of his party and not take it. It's what trade unions have been doing in Jamaica since the 1930s, perhaps the 1920s, and they won't stop doing so now if they've been doing it for over 100 years, my friend. Why would they stop now? They're not stop now.
Well, Judge, I believe that if we are savvy at the backdoor thing, we can tie their hands.
No, man, you can't do that, and that's the point I'm making. I'm saying to you, why is it that with all of the nous, the tactical nous that we have and the negotiation skills and everything, we've not been able to do that? Because I'm saying a trade unionist who is representing workers in any field will never, notwithstanding what they say, they will never pass up the opportunity to get a political advantage for their party so their party can be in power. Yeah, the workers' interests don't really mean not much. The politics.
I follow your job, but hear me 1 second. If we can call the president of the medical association, whatever they call them, those people who come out, all the presidents, the heads of the different associations, if we can have a man or a woman in the background, we have said to them, say, we can do something for housing. We can do something for cars. We can fix up on a parking lot. You know, those little things before we get to the real negotiation. I believe if we make them comfortable with some little things around there, housing, car loans, or whatever, people who know, I believe that when it comes to the real negotiation, we tie the hands of the trade unionists. So when they come out and make big speech, the presidents are not going to line up behind them.
Yeah, it has been tried before and it has not happened. So you are very optimistic. I am pessimistic because I know the nature of the beast and I know what will happen. So
all right, John.
There you go.
We just said to my administration, start the process even before the process. Send somebody go talk to them before we have a situation like where you outlined this morning where Edith Allo did run down for Bruce and I said, we want our money. And Bruce said, have to do what have to do.
All right, sir.
That's something that might get.
All right, sir. Brace yourself, all right?
All right.
Cool.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:49.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
Are those your eyes? Is that your smile? I've been looking at you forever, yet I never saw you before. Are these your hands holding mine? Now I wonder how I could have been so blind. And for the first time I am looking in your eyes. For the first time I'm seeing who you are. I can't believe how much I see when you're looking back at me. Now I understand what love is. Love is for the first time.
That time of the morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday. Monique Grant sending happy birthday greetings to Dr. Renee Level, caretaker for Greater Portmore North. Happy birthday to you, and Dean of Discipline at Cumberland High School. Wishing for you a fantastic day. Happy birthday. Arlene Rose sending belated happy birthday greetings to Ryan Waters there in St. Thomas. A son from another mother, she says, who celebrated his birthday on the 26th, so yesterday. So belated birthday greetings to you, Ryan. Who else is celebrating a birthday today? Happy birthday to our friends on Facebook. Happy birthday, Sonia Morrison, Michelle Thompson. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday greetings also going out to Michelle Grant, Javon Minto. Happy birthday to you, Minto.
Javoncito.
It's your birthday.
Big up you.
Happy birthday to ya. Hope you have a really good day. Jermaine, is this or Michelle Grant? Happy birthday to you, Michelle. Hope you have a really good day. Happy birthday. Happy birthday as well to, is this Ojia Downer? Happy birthday. Happy birthday as well to Jeline, Shanicia, Akira Daniels, Jackie Everbless Ebanks. Happy birthday, Jackie. Wishing for you a wonderful day as well. It's also the birthday of Haroldine Pusey Shields over there at JSIF. Happy birthday to you. Coming from all the staff there at JSIF. So big up yourself, Haroldine. Who else is celebrating a
Glenroy
birthday
Clayton
today?
in the YouTube chat says, George, on my birthday today. So Glenn, morning to you, Glenroy Clayton. Happy birthday to you, man. Wish you all the best today. Yes, genuinely so.
Happy birthday greetings also going out to our correspondent there in St. Elizabeth. It's Michael McLean's birthday.
Mr. Mike,
yeah.
pick up yourself, Mikey.
Happy birthday to you,
man.
Michael. Wishing for your wonderful day as well.
Yeah, man. Top man, Michael McLean. Sunday was Janelle's birthday, I'm being told.
It was?
Yeah, Mrs. Janelle Hughes Headley.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Hope you're doing well, mom to be, and that you're
Happy
nice and
birthday.
comfortable this morning, yes?
Happy birthday to you, Janelle. Hope you had, well, I'm sure you had an amazing
She must have
one.
some cake yesterday and drinks. Yeah, man.
Yeah, good one. Who else is on the birthday list? Checking to see. Angela Christie White sending happy birthday, belated birthday greetings. She says to my husband, Colin White, who celebrated his birthday yesterday. Colin, Angela is saying to you that she loves you very much.
Hector Lawrence says, George, it's my birthday today, please. You know, obviously, please, Hector. Today your birthday, you get a big up, man. Hector Lawrence, happy birthday to you, coming from us here at Nationwide this morning, and I'm sure all of your friends are joining us too. Hector, happy birthday.
Glory sending birthday greetings to Deidre, my friend. Happy birthday to you, Deidre, from Glory here on YouTube. SH is sending belated birthday wishes. So SH is also sending birthday wishes belatedly to Janelle. Yeah, she's receiving it, SH. And Dahlia Shirley sending belated birthday greetings to her husband, Patrick, and daughter, Kyla. Both celebrated their birthdays on Saturday, and she's saying Kyla is at the university in Albany, New York, and her husband is in Brooklyn. So belated birthday greetings to both of them. Scrolling on down.
You see Juliet Sanchez asking you for one?
I didn't see. Here it goes. Happy birthday greetings to, is her name Nisha Juliet? Nisha Miller? Happy birthday to you, attending Hyde, and your auntie saying to you that she loves you dearly. So happy birthday to you. Angela James sending belated birthday greetings. She says to my one and only nephew, Chadmar Case, cheers to more wonderful years. So belated birthday greetings to you, Chadmar. Tanya Jones sending birthday greetings to her granddaughter Nyla, who turns 4 years old today. Aw, happy birthday to you, Nyla, from your grandma, Tanya Jones.
Acknowledging the West Indies' first test win in Pakistan in 34 years is a part of the birthday segment. So DS says, big up West Indies. First test match win in Pakistan since 1990. It's a significant achievement for a team that struggles badly, but you have to congratulate them when they do well. So congratulations to you. All right? Yeah, man. That's the birthday segment, Mr. King.
Here's another.
Oh.
Pansy Bryan sending happy birthday greetings to Sandy Bryan from Pansy. And Sandy works at the Chapelton Hospital. So happy birthday to you, Sandy Bryan. And thank you so much for your service. Hope you have a really good day.
Oh, yes. And my friend, there's a lady who's like a thorn in my flesh. Yeah? I came on Tom's a friend too, you know. Yeah, man.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, man. When she ready, she hanged me, yeah? So let me see if Kimon did give me the name. Oh, she now go on you use her name. She's super private. Really no? Alright then. So her username in the chat is Odd One. So Odd, she really odd for true. So Odd gosh, I got trace me now. So, Odd One, good morning to you and happy birthday to you, my friend. I will use that version of your name and not your right name, yes? I hope you like this version. So, Odd One, Kimon is reminding me that today is your birthday, so accept birthday greetings from Kimon and myself and all of the Nationwide team. Listeners like you will love it. Yeah, will keep us honest. Yeah, keep us on our toes. So, Odd One, happy birthday to you.
KMC sending an awesome birthday to an awesome cousin, Sandra Norton. Happy birthday to Sandra from KMC.
Didn't know. So Kimon said, George, Friday was... Didn't you never tell me Friday, Kimon? And you did the here Friday. So, Odd One, Friday was your birthday, so belated happy birthday greetings to you. And someone, Devon White says, context, George, one time there was no test cricket played in Pakistan. True. But 34 years is still 34 years. Yeah, so you're very right, Devon, and for pointing out the context, appreciate that. So, yeah. But Odd One's birthday was last week, Friday, and Kimon tell me only this morning. He says, not hear me hear the message and eat the message, Odd One. Blame Kimon, okay? Odd One.
A final one, Jermaine, before we wrap up. Roxana Blackwood sending belated birthday greetings to her niece, Kyla Shirley, and her dad, Patrick Shirley, wishing them all the best. So belated birthday greetings to Kyla and Patrick.
And Glory says, George is the same Deidre you met up by Devon House. Yeah, man, Deidre, nice lady. Nice lady.
Good morning to you, Deidre.
Yeah, man, morning, Deidre. Kurt Buchanan says, George, West Indies beat some one-handed players. Hey! Somebody say a lick up, a buck up.
Oh my goodness.
You know what they say about buck up,
so we didn't
right?
get it fair and square.
Of course we get it fair and square. You know what they say about buck up? Buck up when you walk and lick up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not a buck up.
So if you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you as well.
KTB Wello, you say still celebrating? Alright, we're going to send one of the penguin name from up at Cliff Yard. No, it wasn't Cliff's Yard, it was Carlos Hill's yard.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to reporting. Yeah, we're going to send one of the penguin name where Cliff said up at Carlos Hill Yard. I said one of them to your KTB. You can't put them in your front yard like Cliff said. Classic radio that, you know?
It was.
And the tone of her, Cliff thing unique. Cliff said, yes, I'm outside the residence of Carlos Hill and I'm looking in the front yard and I can see the penguins. Yes, the penguins walking in the front yard. Emily Cook's nearly dead.
Jermaine, before you wrap us up,
you weren't the technical operator, weren't you?
Anywhere.
You weren't the technical operator? You can even find that for the archives, Dan. You can even find that for our 20th anniversary. You can even find that.
Good one.
For the first time.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
Anyway, King, you see that nickname that we have for Nora? Leave it alone, yeah? No trouble it. Because we have a very good relationship off here, Nora and myself, Very, very good professional relationship. But from the little nickname that come true, Nora start giving bad face. So
it's which one of you? It was you.
What do you think?
I think it was you. You gotta go.
So
now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Morning, Nora. You alright?
Bless the name of Jesus. That's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning, NTM. Thanks to our technical operator, Jermaine King, our super producer, Michelle McCrae Smith, and our super editor, Kimon Thompson. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton, and at 10, Cliffy's Online. I'm Tonna.
And I'm George.
Good morning.
There's a love that's divine.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
Like the sun. And at the end of the day, we should give thanks and praise to the one.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
Talking about transportation, transporting the past, the present and the future generation. Whether taxi, private vehicle or bike, your 2 bicycle wheel them or a hike. Listen up quick, you coulda young or you old. Up on the bus cause we are on the road.
A flurry of road patching activities underway across the country as the government simultaneously steers 3 road programs to provide drivable road surfaces for Jamaicans. Join the Do Road Tour as Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness shares the progress being made to repair local roads, critical corridors, and community roads. The 3 initiatives launched in late 2024 are valued at $6.5 billion. They include 2 road surface repair components under the $5 billion Relief Emergency Assistance and Community Help REACH program, an emergency repair, and a normal road repair program.
14 Grade 1 contractors have been mobilized for this effort under the emergency procurement rules, and progress has been made in such areas as